Cool, we're live. Cool, cool, cool. Let me set the title and stuff up. Hello everyone. We have Khadgar's upgraded servant walking along with us today. Looks like we have another quest to do. Apparently it's a short one. So we're gonna have a pretty short quest. So for today, it's just me for now, although some other people might join later on. Right now what I'm thinking of doing is to first of all do this quest, and then I was gonna go on a bit of a mount run, see if I can get some of the mounts that drop in, well, a bunch of old raids and stuff. And as always, just talk a little bit about everything and talk with you guys. If you guys want to have a question that I can answer, then go for it, and so on and so on. Anyway, hi Khadgar. The Pillars of Creation. I don't know if you remember the end of the last quest, but it stopped very abruptly. Sort of like in the middle of everything. And this is basically continuing that one.
Dalaran is under siege, hero. The Legion intends to knock us out of the sky. We need the Pillars of Creation to send the demons back to the twisting nether and save our world. Meet me in Dalaran over Deadwind Pass. I have a plan. A horribly dangerous plan, but a plan nonetheless.
Well, I mean, it's not really that... It's weird. Their decision to cut off the quests into weekly things is quite weird, honestly. Because this is all... When the game is actually released, this will all feel pretty straightforward. You'll do it all in one go. But gating it to time-wise like this, it makes it feel pretty weird. Is there still a portal to Dalaran? There might be. Or Deadwind Pass, rather. There is. Oh, I screwed up the title. There we go. Hello, demon. He seems to mostly be ignoring me, which is nice of him. Where'd you go, Khadgar? Huh, I might be in the middle. He was. Oh man. Well, you guys don't see, but he's spamming the chat window with I'm relieved we both made it out of Kharasan in one piece. So, I mean, that's nice of him. Because I'm relieved too. That was nice. To get out of Kharasan. Oh, it was ages ago. Yeah, okay, he says it many, many times. He literally keeps saying it. That's cool. I guess whenever a new person enters, I suppose. Shored up Kharasan's defense as best as I could, but I have little confidence they'll hold. We have other matters to focus on in any case. Gul'dan has set his demon dogs loose upon Dalaran. He wants the city gone, but we're not going to let him have his way. I believe Dalaran will become the focal point of our campaign against the Legion. Neutral ground where the heroes of every kingdom can join together against our mutual foe. Let's get to work, Rythian. Alright, anomalies. It looks like we are going to kill some anomalies that are around. With his crystal.
You, Azeroth will surely fall.
Okay, let's go hunt down some anomalies. There's one. Ah, not line of sight. Figure we can avoid killing the Infernal at least. Let's keep an eye out. There's one. Back here. Do we need to target it? How's that invalid target? Is that not what we're doing? It's got unstable anomaly. That was unstable energy. So I guess that's not it then. That one is big though. There we go. Ah! That guy didn't get... Or maybe he did get to do it. Who knows? Anyway, he's human actually, so he's Alliance. Looks like they have properly put in the sanctuary thing. Oh, they are floating around on the map at least. That's good. Wait, who just said something about succulent marrow and crunchy bones? That's kind of gross, man. Well, is it gross though? I guess. I mean, we eat like animal meat, so maybe they eat human meat. That's fair enough, you know. Welcome to everyone who's here for the first time. This is WoW. We're doing the very, very, very last week before Legion. In a week from now, next week, we'll be playing Legion, and it's gonna be awesome. We need to fly up and catch him, I think. Oh man, I got Puddle Dagger. Not cool. Is he floating inside? He's totally floating inside. Alright, here we go. 3 out of 4. Sorry, I still haven't made my UI video. I keep doing other stuff, but it's basically all LVUI, pretty much. Ah, get owned, Druid from our Inc. Maybe we can both do it at the same time, in which case not so much get owned. I will stream next week, yeah, believe it or not. It's gonna be... I'm probably going to be extremely tired next week, because I will have stayed up midnight to play Legion at launch, and then I will have woke up anywhere, and then I'll be pretty tired. But yeah, the plan is I'll be streaming and doing like Legion stuff and so on. I'm thinking I'll probably play the Demon Hunter on stream and like be my stream character, so we can like do it week by week. And I'll have my other characters to play as we go.
Gul'dan and the Legion must be stopped.
Cheers for subscribing, Robotzler. Love you, Rythian. Keep on keeping on. You too, buddy. You too. You also keep on. Good work. There are still some stray anomalies floating about, but you've negotiated... No. You've negated enough interference that we should no longer be prevented from relocating the city. Now we just need to determine our destination. Author. We've reviewed the tome recovered from Karazhan. Though we found references to the Pills of Creation, one piece of crucial information was omitted from the book, where to find the artifacts. Fortunately, we have access to an expert on the subject. The author, Alodi, was the first guardian of Tirisfal. His spirit is forever bound to the Forge of the Guardian, which has been hidden in our safekeeping. I think the time has come to call him forth. Tell Khadgar to begin the ritual to summon the spirit of Alodi, the very first guardian of Tirisfal. Yeah, I do plan on streaming Legion live, yeah, on this character, basically questing and doing stuff with Legion. So Alodi, the first Guardian, that's gonna be pretty cool. Guardians, I don't know if you guys saw the Harbinger short with Khadgar, but that's basically most of the... Unless you read most of the manuals for Warcraft 1 and 2, you didn't know much about the Guardians, or read the book, The Last Guardian, which is about Khadgar and Medivh. You might not have learned much about them, but there's a huge thing, you know, the Guardian of Tirisfal, aka the Guardian, is like a super powerful defender of the world. Anyway.
Trust in yourself, champion.
Let's summon the spirit of Alodi. Let's do this.
Where you lead, we will follow.
I call forth the first spirit of the Guardian. Alodi. He looks just like a human guy. Which makes sense. The apprentice who refuses the mantle I first wore. What do you need to be? The Burning Legion has returned. To stop them, we scour the library of Karazhan for a tome you authored called Multiple Antiquities of Ancient Azeroth. I really wish this was voiced. We're seeking 5 ancient artifacts called the Pillars of Creation. Your writing didn't specify where to find them. Of course not. The pillars represent primordial power. Even as Guardian, I dare not trifle with them. Finding these artifacts is crucial. The pillars are the only thing that can seal the Legion's portal in the tomb of Sargeras. Just have a random minion standing around there, an abomination. My research led me to the Broken Isles. Though I never found their exact locations, I believe the pillars lie in the hands of peoples of that ancient land. It gives us a place to start, at least. We will search every inch of the Broken Isles if need be. It's almost as we have an entire expansion to go there. You must make haste to find them. In the Legion's hand, the Pillars of Creation could unleash untold devastation upon our world. Good luck. Thank you, Alodi. Medivh's mom was a guardian, and then Medivh was a guardian, and then Khadgar was meant to eventually become a guardian, but they decided that no, that amount of power is too risky to put in the hands of one person, as they can end up being corrupted. Which is part of what happened with Medivh. That caused quite a lot of problems. You know, that's kind of an issue. It's going great in chat. I can see people are really nailing those exclamation mark commands.
Hail and well met, champion.
We may not have the exact location of the Pillars of Creation, but at least we know where to start. We'll explore every corner of the Broken Isles until they're recovered. The Legion's attack is intensifying. We must prepare to move Dalaran to the Broken Isles.
Farewell, my friend, until we meet again.
There we go. They're casting a spell. Anytime now. Anytime now. Now, in fact, it's not happening until next week. That's kind of the problem, right? That was literally it. Like, it was done in, what, 10 minutes, this quest. And it would have been, like, 3 minutes if I hadn't, like, voiced everything. So now they're just going to take forever to teleport to the Dalaran. But yeah, here's the Council of Six. Carline, Kael'thas, Answer Moonweaver, Modera, Vargoth, and of course Khadgar. This is it. Now we just sort of stand here and wait. Until next week, when the actual Legion launch event happens. And King Noster, sorry, no, we're not really looking for recruits. We already sort of have our team ready that we want to raid with in the Legion expansion. Takes a week to cast that spell. Yeah, well, if you think about it, casting Teleport is like a 10-second channel, and they need to channel a whole bunch of people, remember? Like, there's millions of people, well, not millions, but a lot of people in Dalaran. So, you add it all up, and it becomes about a week. Well, I mean, no. Not really.
Knowledge is power.
Give us time to prepare. Protect the city from the Legion, or use your map to find an invasion to stop. When your time is right to begin, I will call for you. Yep, that's literally it. That is it for the quest. I really feel like they should have maybe started the quest later so it didn't feel so abrupt every time, or something. I mean, I could have seen maybe having one right after Karazhan or one right after Ulduar or something, rather than the way they did it now, because it feels weird. It feels like it's just so abrupt. Doesn't really matter anyway. Like when the new game is gonna be released, it's gonna, like, when Legion is released, it's gonna feel perfectly fine. It's gonna feel properly dangerous and rushed and everything. Right. Well, I'm gonna go see if I can get a glaive. So I'm gonna make my way to the Black Temple. Now the real question is, when I don't have a portal there, I guess we just sort of go to Orgrimmar. I guess we probably do, and then just take the portal there to Hellfire and fly there. King Nasara, I'm sure you're really good at the game. That's not really what we care about for raiders, you know. We just raid with people we know that are friends. Fell Rush is a very satisfying spell. Hold on a minute. Let me see if Blue wants to join. Cool. I think he'll be showing up. Should be fun. Have someone to talk to. It's good stuff, good stuff. Rythian? It's not the worst way I've heard my name being pronounced. Hi, Blue. Let me make sure that everyone can hear you. Okay, say something now. I think chat should hear you.
Bollocks, shit and bollocks, no?
Chat, please confirm that you can hear Blue. By typing BLU. Ooh. Right, I guess we're going to Hellfire Peninsula then.
Ah, no, I don't have to, I've got this.
Oh, you have the thing. Yeah, remember I'm playing on the Demon Hunter, so I'm doing everything basically from scratch.
Actually, I don't even have it in my bags. Deadly? No, wait.
Chat has confirmed that they heard you, so it's all good.
Blessed Medallion of Caribou.
Yeah, I have that one on my my rogue as well. Still keeping it around for all these days. In theory, I think I might have it on the Paladin somewhere, but I'm not sure. But
Here's
yeah.
a question: Do you have the title Hand of Adele?
I do, and I have the title Champion of the Frozen Wastes, and the title. What's the other title you got in TBC? That was part of the like the other one that wasn't Hand of Adele.
Battle Master?
No,
Or,
no. I'm
there's
thinking
only
of
3 you could get
yeah.
in TBC, right?
No, you get plenty, but Champion of the Naru. There we go. Champion of the Naru.
Oh yeah.
Do you have that one?
As well.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Come
Yeah,
on,
I
man.
did play. Yeah, well, I mean, come on. I need to double check.
Back in TBC, I was like, I think I was top 50 people with the most amount of achievement points.
Wow.
Yo, was it Wrath of Lich King? That's it. At the start.
Yeah, well, I played a lot. I didn't necessarily hunt achievements, but I played a lot and wanted to do a lot. So, yeah, I got everything.
Yeah, I spent a hell of a lot of time actually farming the PvP ones. Those, while pugging, that was quite a pain.
Yeah, I can imagine. I didn't really like PvP. I didn't really do much of it. To be fair, in TBC was when I PvP'd the most, but it was never really my thing. It was all about PvE, really.
That's where it's all at, right?
I think so.
That's where all the skill is.
I mean, all the PvP players will
yeah, it's like
will argue a lot, but I know PvP requires a lot of skill. It definitely does.
Both do.
Of course,
it's
both
do. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. If the PvPers hadn't been so such assholes about PvE, lol, PvE so easy, lol, that if they hadn't been that way, then then maybe I had to take them more seriously and not make fun of them. But yeah,
it's scripted and it can't be that hard. Coordinating, was it 25 other people?
I remember someone saying, okay, so here's the deal. I remember an article written a long time ago, a really interesting article, actually, about someone who played StarCraft, right? And he SCV rushed every game, like every single game he SCV rushed, which predictably had a really put him in a very low skill rating because it's not a very successful strategy. But because he did that, the people he did beat, were also not very good. So he was very, very low on the list of skill. And so he had a long list of articles, blogs or whatever, about what he was doing. And long story short, in the middle of those things where he was talking about World of Warcraft and how he really felt that he considered no skill, because, and this was his reasoning, there's a global cooldown of 1 second, which means at the most you need 60 APM. Therefore, it's a low cooldown game, low skill game. And to me, that just shows such a huge misunderstanding of what WoW is as a game. That's just crazy wrong, Anyway, are you inside?
I'm inside, but I think I'm in different. Let me get out.
No, I'm not inside either. I'm inside.
Oh, you're not?
I was still flying around, kind of hoping for Doomwalker to spawn or something. But anyway, okay, I'm inside now and I don't see you. Did you go out?
Yeah, I went out. Yeah, I mean, he's looking at it one-dimensionally. There's
Because
more
like
complexity.
yeah, it's like because he doesn't really play WoW, so he compares it to StarCraft, which you can't compare that. Like, I mean, first of all, you don't. The measure of skill in StarCraft is non-actions per minute, but still. Hey, blessing of freedom. What was I gonna say? So yeah, like I think definitely PvP requires a lot of skill, but so does PvE at the high levels. Just because it's like
Yeah.
scripted, the amount of like PvP superstars that have shown up to raids and done incredibly badly has basically taught me that most of them are full of shit. It's
Well,
like,
I
oh,
mean,
if I can hit Gladiator, this shouldn't be a problem. Dies to like everything.
yeah, we had a guy Hunter, really good. I think he's a really good player. A friend of mine called Zigamba. I don't know if you know him.
Don't
He's like a
think so.
multiple gladiator. Back at 70. You're going the wrong way, by the way.
I know. I'm just killing some dudes.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I convinced him to join Yogs, and while we were raiding hard stuff, and he pretty much failed everything after vouching for him. I was like, yeah, he's a great player. He'll be able to do anything. No problem, no problem. Died to like
And
fire. I was like,
and then you felt a little bit silly for vouching for this guy.
yeah, I was like, yeah, that's my privilege one.
Man, Yog sounds so different than Goon Squad because you always took it more seriously and went for a
Much more
lot more, a lot more seriously, and you did a whole lot more like recruiting and getting non-goons in and so on. Because in Goon Squad
Yeah.
we just
Well,
had goons, like yeah, and people could like vouch for a friend or whatever, most like, but very limited, and it was usually like for not for the purposes of raiding, but for the purposes of like playing with your friend or whatever. So it was like
I
a very
guess
different feel.
I guess it changed because remember back in the day, you didn't have server transfers, you don't have faction transfers
Yeah,
or anything like that. You had a limited pool of players on your server.
yeah.
We were on RP PvP one,
PvP, yeah.
being was it Venture Co. So the limit pool we had, you had to recruit puppies, and I am a puppy myself because I was never a goon.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not
actually
a
not
goon
a
to this
goon.
day. Not to this day.
Blue
Didn't
Goose
pay the
is
10
not a
bucks.
goon. Yeah, you're not the
Uh-uh.
10 bucks. For those of you in chat who don't actually know, the goon thing is basically a member of the Something Awful forums, which is where my guild and Yogs originated from. Basically, people who posted on the forum said like we should have a guild and play together, and it started with Yogs, and then like there was a Horde version, but it wasn't particularly big. And when Burning Crusade came out, they made a Horde version on Sporagar at the time. And that's roughly around the time I joined later, but like I joined that guild basically around Burning Crusade.
I was actually on
But
Sporga as my Death Knight. I don't know. Well, not Death Knight. Yeah, no, in the Wrath of the Lich King as Estril. I don't know if you remember that character.
Estril, yeah, I remember. But that is your Death Knight, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my Death Knight.
Okay, so you made it on Sporagar, like, for Wrath.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, a quick overview of this boss. This is Nagentis, basically like Lady Vash's strongest general, whatever. The idea is once you get her, you've already killed Lady Vash, because it used to be that you were required to get both the vials from Kael and Vash to go here. And that point on, you've taken out the leader of the Naga, but Nagentis is still around. This guy has a cool mechanic, really. We won't really get able to see it because we're only two people and it won't really be noticeable. But he can like spike people and they're immobilized. You have to go around and click the spike to get free them. And he gets like a shield on him, and then you have to break the shield, and when the shield breaks it does a lot of damage to the raid. I don't know if I told this story before, but I used to have a... Actually, can we kill the Quace Lords before we pull the boss?
These are ads, yeah.
Okay. We used to have a Shadow Priest in the guild who didn't believe in stamina. I think I mentioned this before.
Yeah.
He just said, like, you don't need high stamina, you just need to be skilled to avoid thing. That didn't really work once we got an Agentas, which did raid-wide damage. And there's nothing you can do to avoid it, you just die. So suddenly had to get a bunch of gear. Anyway, I don't think we can really see this guy's encounter, like, mechanics a little bit, so we pretty much have to just kill him.
Yeah, I definitely don't think, because he can't spike the tank, can he?
Yeah.
And there's only two of us, yeah, so you pretty much have to one-shot him. Or not one-shot him, but...
I mean, maybe he'll spike you. Never mind. I'll
Let's
just
just
kill
see
him.
what happens. Oh, okay.
Okay, let's find it. Let's just stand still then.
Okay,
But yeah,
so
we'll see what happens.
You have to have two groups on melee, because you can see what's happening to us right now.
Yeah,
This
we're
is
splashing, splash damage.
Yeah.
So you basically had like, okay, some people standing near this pillar. Oh, okay, I
Oh.
got it. Oh yeah, remember the bug by the way, where you don't animate, you just walk around like you're floating. This always happened like late game in Agentis during the fight. It doesn't happen now anymore, but I don't know if you noticed, but basically after a certain patch, you didn't have a proper walking animation when you fought this guy. It was weird. Oh, hey, a Leviathan egg. Cool, you can have that one. I have it already.
Oh, you already have it. Okay.
Yeah.
Hooray, new pet.
I'm gonna steal that one though for. Whoa. Okay.
Wait, what?
Suddenly, like, when I picked that up, I got like a whole shitload of tabards and wrist guards and stuff added to my parents' collection. What the fuck? That's strange.
You're not exalted. Oh, you're already exalted with this faction. Wait.
No. I'm in the demon hunter. I have like nothing. Is it because I'm neutral now? Or it assumes I've I don't even know. Because suddenly I got like Sky Witch's Drape, Lower City Tabard, Order of the Cloud Serpent Tabard, Wound Bister's Wrist Guards, Lightblade Rivener, Shadow Panel Saw. Maybe there was like a hot fix that added a bunch of things to me or something. I don't know.
Oh, but that sounds like Mr. Pandaria stuff, right? No?
Yeah, Tabard of the Ebon Blade as well though, which I did already have, I'm pretty sure. And Skyguard Tabard, that's Outland, so yeah. Who knows? Maybe it's just like a fixed thing, like, oh, you didn't have X amount of things, or whatever.
They're just saying, yeah.
Yeah. Man, Felrush is so good for all soloing old stuff, it's ridiculous.
I remember this trash used to be so annoying, like this.
Oh, yeah, because it was easy to pull, and you had to take like a certain path, and they all took some time to kill, like quite a lot of time to kill.
I don't know if you noticed, so these drakes, they're not normal drakes, they're the same model that, you know, the gladiator mounts.
Yeah.
So they're the same one as, I think it's season 2. It might be
well,
season
it would be
2.
season 2 and season 3, wouldn't it, right? Because those were the two seasons for TBC.
Season 4 was like an orange color one, and this looks like it could be season 2. I can't remember. But yeah, that's what the gladiator
they're called Gladiators
so
Netherdrake or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're basically armored versions of the Netherdrake, and the ones you get obviously aren't armored.
I'll show you the normal. I've got it on my.
Yeah.
You've got it as well, haven't you?
Gladiators? Fuck no.
No.
I have the normal ones though. Yeah.
In the normal.
Let's see. Netherdrake. I have the blue, the azure, the cobalt, the onyx, and the purple, and the violet, and the Rythian.
You got all of them. Yeah. This should be like such a pain in the ass grind.
Yeah,
but you could cheese it with the eggs, right?
You could in theory, but like back in the day, like everyone wanted those eggs, you know. So it was a big deal. Like you couldn't really find them as easy. I know someone who shall remain nameless, but that both of us know, who ended up using a model editor to change the model.
I'm no good at staying straight.
Oh, we just got a donation. Let me lead her out in a bit. Who changed the model of the eggs to be
Oh yeah, Ragnarok, something like that.
Yeah, what's his name? Not the sound guy. I can't maybe even remember his name.
I've got the toy for it. That's right. It's got the name on the toy.
Fuck, what's his name?
Are you okay? Are you having amnesia or something? Can I help?
I'll find it.
I'll find it right now. I'm rushing.
I gotta find it. Murmur. Moanful moan of murmur is the toy. Yeah, Murmur. Basically changed them to have a model of Murmur, which means they were huge, so you could just fly over there and click them easily. I do believe he might have gotten suspended for that, or possibly not, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's something.
Yeah, I for some reason I thought Ragnarok, but pretty much that is the same.
Well, I mean, they're basically the same.
Yeah.
They're a variation, they have the same skeleton. I got a donation from Kilaldegren. Okay name. Hi Rythian, how are things? I have a question for Blue. If you were green, would you die? That's a reference to the song. I'm blue, dabba-dee, dabba-die. If I was green, I would die.
Okay.
I don't think that's actually the lyrics, but a lot of people sing that when they like turn the lyrics into something, because the lyrics are actually Awful.
Oh, hopefully I'll never turn green then, because I do not want to die.
Are you trying to like brag about your bear? Because I have a bear too, man.
Oh no,
Don't
this is
even.
my default. This is my
Oh,
default.
it's your default bear. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's so cool. And it is one of the few things that are still really, really unique. Yeah, I mean, you could get this
Hold on
one,
a second. There you go.
but
Yeah.
this one is just not.
It's faded. It's like
It's
it's been in the wash.
faded. It's like,
been
yeah,
in the wash.
you dropped it in the wash and it's lost all its vibrancy and colors.
Yeah, you see, it's just so much better with the red and the everything just
It
looks better.
really is. Yeah, the Warbler is way better, and I'm really glad it did because that was a special thing, you know, to
It
be
was
able to
tough
get
at the
that.
start,
That was
yeah.
really tough. And then I'm not gonna say like the Battle Bear was particularly easy to get, but it was definitely easier.
Easier. You can still
Um,
get it to this day, right?
Yeah, the thing is like you can go and get it now, like solo
outgear
it. You
it,
can go and
yeah.
solo it. You could never like outgear. Well, I mean you could outgear it to a degree, but you couldn't like solo the other. Which is where's my Throglaive? There's my Throglaive.
Well, you know the one that we currently have. What's the name of it? The war bear. The other one. What's the red one called again?
Amani Warbear?
Oh yeah, war bear.
Yeah.
Towards the end, you could actually just outgear it because that's what we did. We just outgeared it and then farmed it. Got loads
Yeah,
of people
yeah, I
on
mean,
the
like,
bed, but at the
obviously-
start, you know, it was tough.
Obviously, the better gear you have, you know, the easier it'll be. If you show up there in full Sunwell gear and like, you know, your tier 6 set pieces and everything and full armor penetration gear, etc, etc, yeah, you're gonna be able to rip through a lot of it. That's kind of obvious, but you know,
I mean, it
that's,
still requires you not to like wipe and like mess up.
yeah,
but-
you still need to know your stuff basically, but yeah. But you're right, yeah, of course you could outgear it, but at least you couldn't like out level it, you know, because it was taken away.
Yeah, right now you can. Yeah, pretty much. Just
Now
walk
you
in.
can bring in like a level 90 even. It don't need to be level 100, and just like auto attack your way through, you know, Suleiman. Which I don't think is bad. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think that's like a bad thing. Like, one of the things I really hate the most are like people who are just being like ridiculously elitist about WoW. So like, oh, you shouldn't have done it. But what I do think, I think it's a cool thing that something existed that was kind of time limited, and you had to do it when it was current and when it was special to get a proper reward. As long as the reward is something, you know, cosmetic or whatever, that's fine. Like the challenge mode sets for the challenge mode weapons and so on that they put recently. Like you had to
Yeah.
get them at the time. They were even more so. You couldn't really outgear them, you know, because you got scaled down.
Well, you also get the titles, right? Cutting edge and.
Yeah, titles and stuff are cool as well.
But
That
you
stuff
can't
I
really
do
see it.
appreciate. Nah, it's not the same. Like, yeah, whoop-de-doo. Like, I barely even look at people's titles anymore. I know you have Death's Demise, but I don't really look. In fact, one point in time, I removed people's titles because they were getting long and annoying.
So
but-
long, yeah.
Yeah.
This one was the one from what's it? The Nefarians. What's it called? Blackwind Descent.
Yeah, Slayer of Stupid and Incompetent Minions, which you
was-
get for an hour.
Yeah, it's a shame, and if you die, you lose it. But yeah, I just thought that was great. I think they should implement that more. Yeah. So about this boss, what did he do that was like really annoying?
I remember he like spawned shit on the ground, obviously, and then he like fixated and chased people.
Yeah.
I remember this guy being pretty rough on melee. I remember dying
Yeah,
as
very
melee a lot. But
Yeah.
he was really cool though. Like this pure size of him, I thought was just I mean even back then that was just like impressive, you know.
Kind of feels a little bit more epic when there's a huge boss fighting.
It
against
does,
you.
yeah. I know a lot of people joke about it as like, you know, you're always gonna just watch a boss's foot or whatever. But that
Yeah.
kind of feels cool sometimes. The benefit of it is because of the way this entire arena is, you slowly like run up here and you see him. And you see him standing there and you take out all his ads and then as you get closer and closer you realize, yeah, I'm about the size of his toe. So we're gonna see how this is gonna work.
And I don't know if you noticed this, there's a little bit of a gradient. So as you go from the bottom, he looks much more smaller as well. It's like a little optical illusion.
Really? Are you sure that's not just
Like,
range?
just check it out. It's range plus the gradient. That's what they use like old cinema tricks as well. For like, you know, I guess they didn't do it with the hobbits, but that's what.
Okay,
they do.
now he's
But
even
you can't see
faded
him.
out, but okay. Here we
Yeah.
go.
But wasn't there something to do with volcanoes? You had to kite him over volcanoes to make him.
No,
weak or
that's
something
the
like
Firelands guy. But like there are spikes or something, and there's like trails to the spikes. I can't remember the exact
that.
details.
You can't
but
cross the trails.
Yeah.
Let's start and see what happens. Then, because don't one shot him.
you just basically
he does-
yeah. Because this is like if you're melee,
Tech
this is
base.
what you saw. This is like you literally saw his feet.
Let me get aggro. Let me get aggro.
Oh,
this
yes,
is what
blue
you see.
fire.
Oh, yeah.
That I guess he just spawns.
And he chases someone.
Yeah, I think
He's
he.
chasing
Well, I
the
mean, at the
tank.
moment he's
He's
on the
chasing the
tank.
tank,
I
right?
think, but like, I think he like there's something he does that goes after other people. There might be like I seem to remember like some sort of crack path in the ground of fire or something. I don't remember the details.
Yeah.
It's been a long
'Cause there's
time since
second
I did
phase,
this actually seriously.
And does volcanoes spawn?
There
ants?
is something with volcanoes. There's a phase 2, I remember. I think
there's
during phase
definitely a
2
phase
you
2, yeah.
kited him or something like that.
Yeah. So right now it's tank phase. It's not percentage based phase change, is
It's
it?
time, I
Or is
think.
it time?
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it was time. I don't remember a lot of percentage-based stuff back in the day. There was for Vash, I guess.
Oh,
There we go.
here
The
we go.
ground begins to
There we
crack
go.
open.
Okay, so this is more fire, I think. Or
Where's
this
the actual
volcano?
ground that cracks open? I didn't actually see the ground crack
Is that
open.
volcano? Oh, there you go.
Here
New
we go.
target.
Okay, a new
Oh, there
target.
you go. So this is the volcano. So you had to kite him away from the volcanoes, or
Yeah, the volcanoes keep spawning where people are. You had
Yeah.
to sort of. Anyway, this is where range had to. Man, range back in the day was so much easier. I mean, it still kind of is. You just stand at range and you just shoot.
Remember the time that Zoe said melee is easy, and then it happened, she just died horribly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was funny.
That was in this expansion when melee is not that bad.
Yeah,
imagine
it was worse. It was
Imagine
worse back
playing
in the
this
day.
one, yeah. At the
Melee
start
still
of,
is like Melee still isn't really that great. The problem is that if the competition for Lee is much more tight, because if you want to be brought to the punches the ground in anger, what does that do? Is this where we're gonna see
it's like an AoE.
maybe? If you want to be brought to like a hardcore raid as melee, you need to do almost more damage in a range. Because it's almost always easier to bring a range than a melee, so you have to do more damage. And like that also means you compete with every single other melee spec in the game. Especially with like the difference in... I think we just kill him now. I think we've seen pretty much everything we can
Okay, let's
see.
go for it, yeah. What do we have here? Oh,
Legion Killer. That's a pretty damn cool crossbow, honestly. Not a fan?
I don't know. Not a fan, not a fan. I did the only
I mean,
crossbow
I wouldn't
like...
probably wouldn't really use it, but like I think it looks interesting in terms of how it looks.
I actually like the vendor one you could get.
Oh
from
yeah.
Ascension.
Well, it's like the one that basically looks like a phoenix almost, you know.
Yeah, kind of. But,
Will I be
to
doing?
honest, there's
Hold
not-
on 1 second. Will I be doing Life is Strange episode 2? Yeah, I will do that on Monday. That's the plan. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
There's not many good-looking crossbows out there.
No,
I
they
think
really go
normally,
more for
like-
guns or bows. Like
Bows,
crossbows
yeah,
didn't really seem to like grab people's attention.
I mean, there's good potential to actually have a decent-looking one, but they
Yeah.
concentrate more on bows, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I prefer bows. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, definitely. I would definitely prefer bows. I mean, it depends on which character I'm playing. You know, I'd say if I was a goblin or a gnome, I'd definitely use a gun. But you know,
Yeah, you have to, right? They're tinkers, right?
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
your favorite? What's your favorite one? If you had to pick like one bow, which one would you go
I'm
for?
quite fond of the golden bow of Kael'thas, honestly. One
Yeah.
that drops on Sunwell that isn't the
Yeah.
legendary one.
And it actually looks better than the legendary
I think it
one,
looks better, yeah.
which is stupid.
It's
It
hard,
should be the
but
other way
then again,
around.
like I've honestly never really played a hunter, so I haven't been paying a lot of attention.
Hmm.
By the way, like, so Illidan is supposed to be retconned to actually be a good guy, or whatever. Look at the sheer amount of like Illidari demons he has, and the amount of bullshit he did towards it. Like, they are pretending it's not a retcon, but being like, oh, but he totally didn't reveal it, blah blah. It pretty much is. He was 100% a bad guy. He did very much bad guy things. It's yeah, they're being a bit silly about it. I don't
But, you know-
mind if they're gonna retcon. They're gonna retcon, whatever. You know, if they want to bring Illidan back, I get it. But I hate it when people try to make it like change what we've done to make it worse. Like, turns out we were the bad guys because we killed him when we shouldn't have. No, screw you. Illidan was 100% a bad guy. He does super bad guy stuff. And they even, in the book, they even done something like, when we stepped through the portal, there was a giant like demon invasion force that was going to be there and kill us. But turns out the Illidari and the Demon Hunter killed them, so they saved our lives. Bullshit. You can't just invent that after the fact and say that he was actually a good guy. That doesn't work.
See, well, I'm kind of confused. Aren't we in a different like timeline?
No, the Draenor stuff is basically forgotten at this point. It's all like no one gives a shit about that anymore.
It's a forgotten.
Yeah, it's dumb. It really feels like all of Draenor was just so they could bring back Gul'dan. In the long run, that was the entire point of Draenor. Bring back Gul'dan. But yeah, but time travel and nanomachines. That's pretty much exactly it. Yeah, I don't know. Oh hey!
Oh look at that!
Double trash loot.
Nice.
I do have the shield already, so go ahead and grab it.
You can't equip it, can you?
Yeah,
I
true.
actually don't have it.
Yeah, grab it, man. It's not super cool, but I mean, if I were to have a shield as a demon hunter, it'd probably look like that.
Oh,
but
you don't see my shield. You don't see my current shield.
Yeah, sure. Huh. Interesting.
It's kind of rubbish, but it's kind of not in the game anymore. So.
Where's it from? Is it from Nax?
Nax 40.
Nax 40, yeah.
I believe it's from Gluth. Yeah,
okay.
I think so. Yeah.
It does look strange. It does not fit your armor whatsoever. No, it doesn't.
But
your weapon is really cool though. It's like a you know, a knight from chess basically, or like obviously a horse's head as well.
Horse, but yeah, the horse head. And the spikes go up, but the shield's called Death's Bargain. It used to be a healing shield, but yeah, you can't get this this shield model anymore, and you can't get the shield itself.
Yeah, so I mean, it has the whole like uniqueness going for it, but I still think you should get a better one. That matches a bit better, but yeah.
Oh no, I got plenty of better ones, but
yeah. But that one is the unique one that you bring out when you want to say, "Hey guys, I played back in Nax. Look at me."
That's the EP one. The EP.
Yeah. And the last Ashtang. Yeah. So these as well, these were the broken, right? And so here's also like, oh yeah, Illidan, totally a good guy. The fuck he was. He ripped Akama's soul out of him and has it as a hostage. That's not a nice thing to do.
So what was it? So he enslaved all the broken, right?
More or less. Well, I mean, the broken worked with him, and then when they started to like doubt his methods, because he was, you know, it seemed like he was going insane and was going to do a whole bunch of crazy shit. Then he's like, well, I'm just going to steal Akama's soul and keep that as a hostage to force the Ashtong to basically still fight for me.
Okay. So in
this fight was the burst fight of the Earth Day. Like, it was cool.
It wasn't burst fight as much. But what you would have is melee kill these channelers, and when you kill the channelers, they what the channelers do is stop him from moving.
Yeah.
So what you want him to do is fight his own shade, and in the meanwhile,
there was like ads that spawned that you had to deal with, and the tanks tanked them and so on.
Yeah, so the shade is not tanked by anyone except for Akama.
Yeah, the shade tanks his own Akama, but you kind of have to help mostly because, like, as you can see, even though Akama has more health, the shade actually does more damage, so Akama will lose eventually.
Yeah.
And then once you get to this point, it was burst time, you know.
Oh, yeah, you can see the stacking debuff on the shade.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, destructive poison, which stacks. It's up to 15%, 20%. So every stack is 5%.
Do you think Akama will win if we don't do anything? He shouldn't, right? I don't think he will.
No, I don't think he will. He's got a bigger deficit between those.
Yeah. Anyway, once this shade is killed, Akama basically gets back his power, and then, well, I mean, we can do it right now, and there's not a lot of things that's gonna happen.
I like the shoulders. I know they're a bit kind of eyes, and why the eyes in your
yeah, these are male, right? These are hunter ones.
Yeah,
they're the hunter set.
Male, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you see the souls being like absorbed back into Akama.
Yeah, and he gets back his power basically. And then once that's done, like, he summons the Ashtong. It's like, all right, guys.
That's when we start getting ripped.
Well, Akama was promised the temple back, and when it was going to start taking too long, he wanted to betray him. I mean, yes, technically, that's how they phrase it in the book, because in the book they're trying to make Illidan out to be the superhero. The idea was Illidan promised like the temple was gonna come back, and then he didn't give it back, and he started becoming pretty evil. So at that point on, yeah, Akama was gonna betray him because Illidan was becoming evil, and Akama is a good guy. And then that's what happened.
But it's not Akama who's the betrayer.
No, exactly.
It's
Like
Illidan.
Illidan is literally called the betrayer. So
Betrayer, yeah. Now they go from red to green.
yeah, and please no spoilers for Legion. Very, very much no spoilers. I haven't been spoiled barely at all, actually, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. Blue has played it all, and he loves it, so I'm looking forward to it.
I've leveled it up to 110.
But yeah, but we can spoil the book, because I hate the book. I actually don't hate the book. I think it's a pretty well written one, but I don't like what they've done. I understand what they've done. They're changing Illidan from being a bad guy to being an anti-hero, but I really feel like they're twisting so much of the existing story to fit that storyline, which I don't really like.
Which way you want to go? You want to go left to what's his name again? The shade guy.
Gortug Bloodboil?
No, the one.
Terran
one
Gorfiend?
Terran Gorfiend, yeah, the one
Yeah.
we meet him, don't we? First, we actually set him free in Netherstorm.
Yeah, there's a big giant quest chain
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you end up basically setting him free. It's funny, actually. Terran Gorfiend was, well, like he says, I was the first, you know. He was the first Death Knight, and by Death Knight, it's like the Orcish Death Knight back in Warcraft 2, not the new type of Death Knight, the Arthas Death Knights, basically. You know, originally, in Warcraft 3 Alpha / Beta, they were called Anti-Paladins, and there were going to be another class called Death Knight, which was going to be the more classic Death Knights, more shaded caster type things, more so than like basically fallen paladins, which is pretty much what Death Knights are. And then they changed it and just like figured, you know what, we can just call them Death Knight, it'll be fine. And then they went for that instead. But that does mean that, like, if you play Warcraft 2, where the Horde has basically orc souls put into human bodies, or like here, where you fight Terran Gorfiends, they're technically Death Knights, but they're very different Death Knights. Alright. So this guy is the Ashdong Quartermaster. That's the rep we'll be gaining as we're doing all this. You can buy a bunch of items. I remember the trinket being... First of all, like, you went there if you wanted to get Shadow Resistance gear, which you needed to get to kill Mother Shahraz at first, before they sort of tweaked her to make her not really require all of it. As long as people had, like, a little bit, they could still do fine. Yeah, and the necklace, the Blessed Medallion, which also gives Shadow Resistance. But yeah, like I think in the beginning when Black Temple was first released, it was pretty much planned around you having Shadow Resistance gear, but the Shadow Resistance gear wasn't that good, which meant you were weak in like every other area of the fight. So it was the whole idea of resistance fights is a bit weird.
That's the Paladin trinket, which was rubbish. It was
it?
One
I
of the
remember
worst trinkets.
I remember the Orc trinket was being okay, but it was just. You just wanted to get your Dragonspine trophy and stuff instead anyway, you know, or the Suleiman armor penetration. Wait, was there a trinket one in Suleiman? It must have been, I imagine, but... Yeah, what Barum said, basically, 3 waves of Death Knights. In reality, though, the second wave is basically the same as the third. It's just, like, at different times. The way the horsemen were raised to make the 4 horsemen in Extramus is basically the same way the other Death Knights were raised in well, the start of the Death Knight starting zone, basically. The same sort of style.
So, like, who is Terran Gorfiend to Illidan? What is he, like a lieutenant or?
Well, see, that's the real question. Like, cause he doesn't. I don't know why he would fight for Illidan. Like, Terran Gorfiend is a full-on bad guy. Like, very much bad guy. It was ages ago since I did the questing, like the quest zone for him. But the point is, you don't really know who Terran Gorfiend is until towards the very end. Where you basically set him free and he comes back here. I don't really know like why Illidan would work with him. That's the thing. Like, if Illidan just did all this to we're just fighting the Legion, he did a whole bunch of shady shit like in the way to do that. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if Illidan is a good guy, you know, he won't work with a bad guy. But this is pointing towards Illidan being a bad guy.
I mean, he's an anti. I can see the whole point of like being an anti-hero and like making the hard decisions. we must deal with the Legion, you know, that sort of thing. But but I do feel like also this place dropped so many gems, like so many gems.
Yeah.
But when you were 25 people, like you were lucky to get like 2 or 3, I suppose.
But
yeah.
you know, the ones that were more common were the blue ones, and the one that were rare and actually sold for a lot were the crimson ones.
Yeah.
The crimson one give you the basic.
They gave you like
stats,
strength, agility, or intellect. Yeah. Blue just gave you like stamina. And
yeah.
I mean, even back in the day, even tanks didn't really jump for stamina. Like they did in the early beginning when they felt squishy, but eventually they didn't because they were more important other stats to get. You know. Oh, hey, the bludgeon.
Look, weapon. You want that?
I can't actually learn it.
Oh, you
interesting.
Can't? I can. I'll take it then.
That's interesting. I can't because I thought no. I guess I can't use maces. I suppose I can knead on them, but I can't actually get it. So that's interesting.
Oh, knead on it. Let me pass it to you. Can I pass
No,
it
no, no. Well, I mean, it said cannot learn, but like, yeah, okay. Trade it to me and see what happens. Maybe my add-on is lying. No, it just says cannot learn. You don't have the proficiency, etc. Demon hunters can't use maces, I guess, which makes sense.
Okay.
Zombie on Drugs who says you really want to get into World of Warcraft, but it's too late now. I feel like you've missed on way too much stuff to enjoy WoW. And then a couple of people saying like they feel sort of the same way, and so on and so on. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily true. And I was to say like the real Mr. Zombie, there's a lot of zombies here, who basically said you heard so many terrible things about how the game is now compared to how it used to be. I don't think that's true. I think a lot of people will say that because they have nostalgia tinted glasses, you know, like it's the whole thing where like, oh, it was better back in the day. I mean, there's good parts and bad parts about the game being newer. I don't think it's necessarily just something easy to say like it was better then. It was, that's how you should have played and so on. I think that the game, this is a really good time to start because you have there's a lot of history, yeah, but you don't necessarily need to know all of it to play the game. And you can always go and do it, you know. Like, there is ways to, if you really want to find out, there are ways to find out the story. But you don't need all of it. You have a pretty basic story set up, and you'll get the introduction, and you'll very much be involved in it. I do think that you'll miss out on some of it. Like, you won't really know the significance of the Ashbringer, or understand like why the Doomhammer like is such a big deal, or and so on, and that sort of thing. But like that will get explained, and I mean, the game is always there for you to explore later on.
See, here's the slight problem. Back in the day, everyone's like, oh, and they need to fix this, they need to do this, they need to do that, make this better, and Blizzard implement it. They make changes, they make things better, like questing and so forth. And then when people look back at that, nah, they've ruined it. They've done this. So it's like they can't win.
Yeah, do you have any idea how much people were begging and pleading for some sort of dungeon finder? Like, please, can we just have a system so that we can just join up and do dungeons? It would be so good, please, please, please. And they put it in. It's like, great, thank you, so good, Blizzard. Can we please do the same for raids? That would be great. Ah. And now 2 years later, Dungeon Finder Raid Finder ruined WoW, man. They made it so bad. It's like, what the fuck? What are you gonna do? Yeah. Also, a lot of people saying like you don't need to care about the lore to enjoy WoW. I think you should, but I mean, everyone plays games differently, so.
I mean, I'm actually there's aspects that I love, like what they've implemented. Like, remember it took like 2 months, maybe for me, it took two months, 2.5 months to actually get to level 60. That's max level, and that was like one of the most painful grind as a paladin. I would not want that to want anyone else to do the same thing I did. Like leveling as a ret paladin is so much easier now, but
it's so different. Like they've changed everything so much, and 99% of the time they changed it for the better. People just, the real thing is like people remembered all the good times they had back in the day, and that's not literally they don't remember like the good times were because of the people I played and the time period in my life where things were better, or I did this, or everything was great, and they then sort of like attach that thing to like, oh, things were better when there was no raid finder. Because there's like, oh, I remember going with my friends and meeting this one guy when I was advertising in trade chat. Don't remember the pain in the ass of sitting there spamming trade chat for LF1 tank for Zulaman, good to go. LF1 tank, good geared, good to go for like half an hour.
and until finally some tank takes pity upon you and goes with you so you can finally do Suleiman or whatever. Like, it's...
Remember gear score?
Yeah. And
Gear
well, I
score.
mean, yeah. Once gear score was out of the bag, it was never really going away, which is why Blizzard just basically just made item level visible. You know, in many ways, gear score was actually slightly a bit better because gear score took into account like enchants and gems and so on as well. But yeah,
But this only tells you the item level.
yeah.
But I remember like
Thulan, you have a point, and then the tank comes and goes, "Yeah, guys, I gotta go in 30 minutes." It's like shit. And then you do, and you've been sitting there waiting for so long time, and then the healer goes like, "Actually, guys, I really don't have time for this. I was supposed to be done in 40 minutes ago," and so on and so on. Yeah, I think people who enjoy the lore care more about the game because like it's a continuing world with characters and story that has been moving on for so long, for 12 years soon, so that you're still attached to the world and the characters in it. So when things happen. Like, I mean, if a main character, whatever, in Final Fantasy XIV right now would get killed by the new boss, and it would like, oh, this is the new boss you gotta kill. He killed the leader of that seventh. I don't even remember much of Final Fantasy XIV, but like that group of people, the secret group in the tavern or whatever, and they killed a bunch of those. It's like, no, you gotta kill them. I wouldn't really care because I haven't really played with them that much. That's not really a big deal. But if, you know, a boss came out now and, like, you know, they like, you know, Gul'dan shows up and he kills Varian, you know. If I was an Alliance player, and like, I'd really feel it. I'd be like, God damn, they took out Varian, like, our king. Like, I want to kill him now. Even though it's not really so much of a, it's not like roleplay stuff, but, like, it gives you, like, an in-character reason to do things. And you give more of a shit, because that character's been around since, well, early Wrath of Lich King. For the Alliance.
So
well, you're Horde now, Blue. You're Horde now.
No. It pains me to say. But look at his character model. Do you think that's a bit weird for a Death Knight? He's got wings, and he's wearing like a warlock set kind of thing.
Yeah, but keep in mind, like, he's the first Death Knight. He is an orc soul put into a human body. Wings, I guess, is just something like that comes from the demonic things. But he was always more of a caster. He wasn't like the anti-paladin fighter dude, you know? Like, it's that he is more of a caster, which is why he does the whole man. If there's any fight that had like a really cool mechanic in Black Temple, it was this guy. This guy was like a raid killer because people made people made a flash game to teach people how to play this fight. I remember our raid was like, we linked the thing and it's like, okay, post a picture proving that you beat it. Basically, not everyone did, but you know, the idea was that you should have. This, by the way, Terran Gorfind was the last boss, just to show how we weren't really a super raid or whatever. This was the last boss we properly killed before 3.0 hit. We didn't actually kill anything. So this was around 2.4. I think we could have gotten more, but like we only really got into the raiding groove towards the end of the patch. So if 2.4 had continued a couple more months, we probably would have made a little bit further. I don't know if we inevitably would have killed Illidan or anything, but you know, we got to these guys at least, and I remember killing this guy was cool. So what he does is like he picks a person and he turns them into a ghost. So you get like you spawn as a ghost like back here, and then there's like
anywhere, but
so people basically told them go back, and then like a bunch of other ghosts spawn, and you basically need to play a frost mage all of a sudden, because you had to kite them and slow them and like nuke them down and stuff for a certain amount of time while you were ghosts. If you didn't, the ghost just ran rampant on the raid and wiped you. It was really interesting. In our first kill, I became a ghost and I did my job.
Here's a question, because like this is the first time I ever used like keybinds for animal pets. Sorry, pet bar.
Yeah.
Did you click or did you bind?
Was it a pet bar? I think it didn't. I thought it changed your main bar. Maybe I'm misremembering correctly.
I thought it was pet bar because I remember like you couldn't use your keybind, so you have to use the pet bar.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I think by default the key bindings were control 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think I used those if I remember correctly. The AOE one I think I clicked because I needed to like aim that one anyway. I think, but yeah.
But yeah, he did more than that. He did like other things.
Yeah, he had many like mechanics, but
Yeah.
that was the major one that screwed people over. Because that's one of the first boss fights where a lot of the like responsibility was put onto one person, and if that person fucked up, the raid died. You know, that's basically it.
You won't want to hear Mirrors like bad mouthing you, so like you didn't want to fuck up. No way, no way.
Yeah. We
I
didn't
fucked
really
up
have like
twice.
asshole raid leaders the same way. We were pretty nice, but you know how it is in a raid. Like if you're a normal person, you don't want to disappoint your friends. You don't want to like let down all the other 24 people that you're raiding with. You know.
Okay, let's get this started.
You will
Just
show
see
the
if-
proper respect. Is what he says. Not when we pull, but when he does a spell. I think.
Alright, vengeance is mine.
Yeah. I wonder if he's gonna make you a ghost.
And wait, hold on. Let me
Or
get.
if you get aggro, maybe.
I just pointed.
Maybe Shadow of Death.
You got it. You got it.
Oh shit! I'm gonna get
But
to
not
be a
fail.
ghost.
But not fail.
The shadowy fingers of death close around you.
So I don't know if you noticed, but up there there's like a purple orb. I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but that shoots like shadow bolts at you, doesn't it? Or
Yeah.
On the raid.
The shadow, the orb is right there. I can see it.
Yeah. You got like is it a minute to actually run away?
Yeah,
I guess you
I
just
still have
DPS,
30 seconds, so
and you got like 20 seconds to go, and then you go. If you look up, you can see the ghosts.
yeah, there's a whole lot of ghosts.
But what else do you? What other debuffs do you get? Increased shadow damage.
Yeah,
by
he's just doing
50%.
a thing. That's
But I
and
think
that's
just
the,
a random.
yeah, that's a random target, and that's not dispellable either. That's you just have that, and you just need to, oh shit, crushing shadows. So keep heal. Okay, now I'm gonna turn into a ghost in 5 seconds or 6 seconds, but yeah.
Okay, let's see how bad you do. So good you do.
Okay. It's definitely pet bar, I think. Wait, what? No, it's not pet bar.
Run away! Run away! Hey, kill them! Kill them! I can't hit them. Oh, you've AoE'd them, haven't you? Let's see if I can kite him a little bit far away.
I'm almost getting it.
Oh, just about.
I did
Hey,
it!
you did it!
I even did it after
And
years
does
and
that mean
years. It was probably a little bit too close. Normally you very
little bit
much don't
close,
want them
yeah.
down here, but I did kill him. So now I can attack the boss, I think. No, I can't.
Can you?
No,
Oh,
I
do you
can't.
die? You die.
I think I'll die in 18 seconds.
At least I can res you. So he
Yeah.
chose the right.
Or
person.
if maybe I don't die, but I'll become a human again. I don't know. Spirit
I
strike.
think you die because that's the point of not enrage. It's like a soft enrage. Like
Yeah.
eventually people die and then.
Oh no, I
you
can do
lose
stuff.
defense.
Okay, no, I do die. Yeah. Ribbon beast.
I'll kill
Okay,
him
just
off
kill
then.
just kill him. Yeah, just kill him. Hooray! I remember this guy dropped a pretty cool weapon.
Did you release? No.
No. I'm up here.
So that's the gun. Let's see what mod looks like.
Yeah.
Is it any good? It's just a standard gun. It's like a 3-barrel gun. With a scope.
Yeah. I think
Guns
back in the
not-
day they had like a lot of the guns they made were just basically guns. But and then eventually they started going more overboard with them and doing some crazy shit. I'm gonna go get a drink, so I'll be back in like 2 minutes. So be right back. I'm back with Pepsi.
Alrighty. How hot is it over in Sweden? Because it's bloody hot here in.
It's
London.
definitely one of the hotter days, but it doesn't seem crazy. I do have my fan on like number 2 out of 3, so there's that. But and it's very sunny outside, but it's not too bad. I don't really have a temperature thing close. I guess I could look it up actually.
It's like 30 degrees here.
Weather in Malmö, 22 degrees Celsius, so it's not quite as bad for you as it is for you. I think it'll increase a little bit, but yeah. Man, Gorfiend was cool. He was definitely cool. And then, of course, in Wrath of the Lich King, you get to see him a little bit differently. You get to see him first as just an orc who's hunting after all the souls of Ockendun, and then afterwards, he becomes the bloated monstrosity that you fight in Hellfire Citadel. So you get to fight him twice. Terrangor. I wonder, like, if he chose his own name. I guess he did. Like, because originally he was an orc called Terrangor, and then he became Terran Gorfiend, or in Hellfire just Gorfiend. So he must have, like, basically picked a new name for himself that was like, oh, that's kind of close to my old name.
Yeah, his friends called him Roger, but he's like, no, I'm not having it. I want to be Gorfiend.
No, shut up, guys! No, I want to be
Shut
Gorfiend! No! I want to be Gorfiend! And everyone's like, dude, you can't pick your own nickname. Yes, I can, shut up!
If you could pick your own nickname, what would it be? It'd be something cool like Destroyer, you know.
I don't, but no, but like it depends on what you call nickname, I guess. The thing is, like on the internet, you can pick your own nickname, and that's what most people do. So they get one.
Which we have.
Yeah, like Blue and Rythian, you know. We're not going around, you know, calling ourselves by our real names, which we could, but we don't, because we learned, like, that's how people meet each other, like, and they get to know, oh, it's that Mace again. They meet each other as that name, so, yeah, I just agree.
Yeah. See, what I find funny is, like, all the Yogscast most of the Yogscast members call each other by their name. They're like their nicknames. Like, you call Shin by Shin.
I say Shin, yeah, I've known him for years, and I still call him Shin. You know? It's just how it is, I guess. Oh, I remember this, like, this boss used to be the hard one to solo. Like, you could solo, like, now it's easy, but, like, back in the, like, well, actually, is it easy? Because it's the reflect damage thing, isn't it?
No, they've nerfed it.
They've nerfed it? Yeah, okay.
But this used to be, kind of annoying because these respawn, but there's always someone that pulls aggro and dies, and we have to kill everything, wait for, jump out of combat and then rest them.
Yeah, that was really annoying.
We always like this fight.
It was one of the cooler fights, yeah, I agreed.
It's different mechanics, and there's like some points that you don't need the tank, and there's points that you need to do something like proximity, no healing, there's extra damage, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Do you remember if Black Temple came out in 2.1 or 2.2? Because 2.3 was Trolls and 2.4 was Sunwell. I know that Black Temple was the first major content patch.
I honestly believe maybe 2.2. I don't know. Let's see if someone. I'm gonna look at
2. It says. Yeah, sorry, I looked it up. It was 2.1, okay. So it came out early.
2.1. Okay.
That was like the first major thing. The thing is, like at the time, it was very few people actually went into it because.
Oh yeah.
Like, cause you still had to like kill Kael and Vash, and they were super hard. Like, they were brokenly hard. They were, like, impossible to kill levels of hard, so... Yeah. I mean, I didn't step in there until 2.3? Because 2.3 was when they made it so that... Or was it 2.4? One of the ones they made it where you could step in without needing the vials. So... That means we could go in there without having to kill
one of the later ones, because...
I'd say it's probably 2.4.
Yeah, because they want everyone to experience the content... Level. So
Black Temple was one of the ones that had the like this is when you had the crazy attunement systems. Attunement, which they just stopped with eventually. We need to move down a little bit.
Attunements to everything. There was there was attunements for everything, even like heroic dungeons.
Karazhan bosses and heroic dungeons. You need like keys and stuff. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff like that. It was crazy. Because I remember. So to get to Black Temple, you needed to kill both Kael and Vash, and you needed to do Hyjal. Wait, and to do Hyjal, you needed to do a whole bunch of other stuff first as well. There's like a huge level of stuff you had to do before you actually got in there and kill Illidan. So while the raid instance was technically put in 2.1, only the vast majority of hardcore people, and like I'm thinking like real hardcore, not even just like raiding guilds, and it's like the toppest of top actually were in to do it at the time. I mean, like, for example, I literally didn't step foot in it until, like, 3 patches later, you know?
part of that is because like when I first hit 70, it was already 2.3, so I couldn't really have done it that much earlier. But yeah.
What's
I
your
remember-
opinion of like achievements? Do you think that they were a good idea, or you like, thank God they're gone? That's the past. We don't need no more of that.
I'm in a little bit of two minds because it really felt awesome to work hard towards something and then finally getting access to do it. But it was a massive pain in the ass when you like wanted to get your alt in there or a new friend or something.
Yeah.
Because I think if it's solo attunements, it's great. Like I think that's really good. Like so a person like putting in a quest line to do things on its own. You know, if you limit it to 5-man dungeons or like basically stuff you can queue for or whatever to do something to unlock, then that should be fine. But having to go back, like every time a new person joined your raiding team, having to go back and kill Kael and Vash again so that that person could get vials, that was bullshit. Because no one wanted to do that. You know, that was a lot of wasted time, raiding time.
But
So
on the
I
flip
think
side,
the idea of like some attunement being there is cool, but maybe not as much as they had back in Black Temple.
But on the flip side, you saying like people joining your raid team. Say if you're running a dungeon, sorry, a raid that needs a specific attunement. If you're recruiting for that raid, shouldn't they already have it? Or like maybe they could make a attunement account wise or something like that.
Yeah, like that could be something. Like account wide attunements, that was I mean back in the day that wasn't even considered. Like nothing was account wide back in the day. Yeah.
Not trading anything to was it on gold?
Nah, it was fair. Anyway, let's kill a boss.
Okay.
So this guy was really interesting because he had 3 phases, and 3 phases all have like very different rules.
Not just faces. It's a
Yeah,
face.
both faces and phases.
Huh? So this
Also,
one-
he has cool voices.
Yeah, this was the proximity one. So you get aggro the closer you are. If I
Also,
stand
healing
close,
effects
fix
reduced
it.
by 100, and regeneration effects by 100, and armor reduced by 100, and defense reduced by 500. Which means that even the tank was going to take lots of damage, you know, and you couldn't heal him at all.
Well, here's the thing: like anyone can tank here. We had DPS tanking,
Yeah.
and once they get the debuff or something, you soul drain. So this is where you.
But he's
go
fixating on
You
them.
go closer. Then go closer. And if I go far away, you should, in theory.
Yeah, now switch it to me, yeah.
So
you basically swap people in and out, pretty
yeah.
much.
And this you just dispelled it. You want to
You
dispel
dispel
it.
the soul drain, yeah.
So that's
But yeah,
what you can do.
that was like the first fight. It was so cool because this fight really felt like it made fights only beginning, and also
so
like this is just like the oh shit face basically. He's gone into a frenzy.
Yeah, it's friendly. So now I swap back in, and that's this.
I wonder why it picked 97%. You know, physical damage dealt increased by 97% rather than 100. But yeah, part of why this fight was so interesting because like each phase was so different, and each phase was so different from a normal boss fight. On top of that, anyway, I guess we just kill this now. I think we've seen this. So then it goes back and switches to, and then in between, thankfully, in between the phase where we all lost, like we haven't been able to heal, so we're all really low on health. These little souls spawn, and once you kill them, you get like health back and stuff. So it basically reset the entire fight between phases, thankfully.
You just stand in the middle and just AoE the hell out of these, and you just get health back, mana back, and just wait for the next one. At times this phase could be boring, but it's a
it was boring, but it was needed. Like you needed people to heal up, basically.
Yeah, it's relief because you're concentrating, make sure you're not messing up with the phases, and it gives time for people that hey, this is what we're gonna do. We can.
Inertia Cactus, yeah, this is very much for lower levels. This is a level 70 dungeon, and I'm level 100. Essence of Desire. This is the interesting one. Damage taken when damage dealt. And also top of that, healing increased by 100, but we also lose mana over time. So this was like a very careful fight where you couldn't do too much damage because then you'd kill yourself. And then like people could heal a lot, which they needed to because people took so much damage. But as time went on, they didn't have any mana left. Also, their shield is so annoying. Because when she has, you have to enjoy the rune shield, or dispel it, I guess. Because, yeah, like absorbs 50k damage, immune to interrupts, which is a big deal, because that Spirit Shock is a killer that it doesn't people, that like confuses them, which means tank can't keep aggro.
Yeah. It doesn't tank. But
and increase attack speed and casting speed.
Is deaden. So the deaden was the spell that actually does all the damage to you. So
Yeah.
Spirit Shock not so much because it just
Spirit Shock is fine. You
dazes
just have
one.
your tank taunts, I guess.
Yeah. So deaden you just
Yeah, increases damage taken by 100.
Yeah.
You could not
That's
afford to
what-
have that one on the tank.
on tank.
But that means, by the way, you needed to dispel the rune shield because otherwise you were screwed.
Yeah. So that's pretty much this phase in a nutshell. But the main thing is DPS not killing themselves because
Yeah,
hey, it's so
and
easy
a lot
as a
of them
mage.
did. A lot of them
Yeah.
did because they're not
Big
used to
numbers.
not going full blast. Like, why would they not go full blast? They've
Bigger
gone full
numbers.
blast DPS on like every fight. And it's like, let's do it, and then they just died because they took like millions of damage. But yeah, that was phase 2. That was the hard one, honestly. Phase 2 was
Oh
the hard
no,
one.
I think
Was phase 3
is the
harder?
hardest.
Do you think phase
It's
3 was
burn.
harder?
Yeah, it's the burn. This is where you have to like it's all or nothing. Even
Yeah.
I think the healers started DPSing as well. That's
Yeah, they did.
rush you have to
Maybe
be.
it's because when we came here, we obviously had probably better gear than when you came here because you did it earlier than us. So maybe at this
Yeah.
point on, it wasn't too dangerous. When we progressed on this fight, I remember that phase 2 was the main killer for us. Although we probably died a couple of times with this one as well, but I seem to remember having most problem with phase 3. I'll talk about Suramar in a bit, yeah. Also, Beware I Live is a reference to Sinistar, by the way, which is pretty cool. And yeah, this guy's just like, he does damage over time, so you'll keep taking damage, and you, like, just do more damage. So this one was the complete burn phase. Like, kill him before you all die to the aura of anger, basically. Fairly straightforward, honestly, but yeah. He does the Spite, which targets one person and makes me immune to all damage. I don't really get the function of that. What was the main point of that? Like, who was he supposed to? Was that just like him helping people, or what did this Spite do?
I can't remember.
I don't remember that at
pretty
all,
sure.
honestly. I think that might have been something that happened to the tanks, and I obviously wasn't tanking at the time, so.
I'm gonna have a quick look on the adventure guide.
I don't think they have the details for these, actually. They just have the loot,
I'll just do. Oh, okay.
so yeah.
But yeah, this one is like pretty much.
This was full burn phase, yeah.
Bloodlust, heroism, do everything. You
Everyone,
can,
even
and
healers like nuke when you can,
Yeah.
and so on.
pretty much. Let's see
But
if
then
it
he
drops a
falls.
torch.
Oh yeah, the
No
torch?
torch.
No torch.
I
Just the
remember having
shitty
that.
all fan and a neck. I was hoping we'd at least get the pets or something, but no. So,
Oh, right, yeah, because you get 3 pets, right?
yeah. Algornar mentioned in chat, like, they're making a very tentative step in Legion, with 2 dungeons gated behind the questline in Suramar. But Suramar is pretty much mandatory, so it's questionable how much of an attunement it is. I mean, yeah, you're right, like, it's... But like, that's still a step of the way, right? You can't even do those dungeons before you've done a bit of Suramar, and I think that's pretty cool. I do agree that is something that everyone is going to do, but I think that's pretty cool anyway. That is something you have to work for towards unlock. It's not so much like the difficulty of it or whatever. It's the idea of you working to unlock something that becomes available through you due to things you do, and also ideally like seeing part of the storyline that makes it happen. Like a big deal about like earning your way into the Serpentine Cavern or you know the Tempest Keep was like these minor quest chains that required you to do a bunch of heroic dungeons and getting items and talking to like you know like a deserter that used to work for the Coil Scar or stuff like that sort of thing. So that's pretty cool.
I think it's a good idea that you have to experience the content that they have.
Yeah.
They probably like spent a lot of time making this content, and like you skip it because you've got to max level and you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But in this way, it is forcing you, but then you get to.
It is forcing you, and they're putting like a mandatory gate, which is not super great, but I feel like they should make it so that like at least it'll be fun to do, which I mean there's always a goal they're gonna have, and that it gives you something that's worth doing. And I think that's one thing, to unlock something is a cool idea. I'm sure some people will be annoyed at like another alt, have to go do it all over again, but I mean whatever, it's a choice you make when you play an alt. Like you have to put in a little bit of work with it. You can't get everything for free, you know, like that's a decent idea anyway. It's like when you were doing like if you were doing your legendary ring quest in World of Warcraft, you still had to go do Sky Reach again, you know, but that's fine. You know, did that. So we're on our way now down. This is still like the Fell Orc area. And this is also sort of an indication of like, yeah, this is what Illidan was literally doing. He was just like like putting like the Pit Lord's blood and like mutating these normal like orcs into these demonic beasts. All right, totally a good guy though. Still totally a good guy.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
Nah, I don't think he's supposed to be good guy. He's supposed to be the anti-hero who does whatever is necessary to fight the Legion. But I mean, that's fine. I just wish that people wouldn't like pretend that like, oh, secretly he was good all along, because he did a lot of bad shit, and we definitely had reasons for going in to kill him after everything he did.
So what's the deal with all these waterfalls? Is it just random or?
I think this is just pretty. I'll just answer a few questions from chat.
Go
Rythian, do you know what you'll be maining? I'll probably be maining my Death Knight. This is the plan, at least. I always say that before an expansion, and then like once I play the expansion, I realize I like one class more than the other or something. But for now, the plan is to do the Death Knight. I'm really looking forward to doing the quest chain. It's going to be pretty great. Gurtok Bloodboil. Remember we fight this guy in Hellfire Citadel, actually. And he's like... one of 3 bosses at the time. This guy was interesting as hell to fight, because he had the whole mechanic going on where, just like in Alpha Citadel, he picks one target that grows really crazy big and does a lot of damage and stuff, takes extra damage. But the whole blood thing, moving back and forth and like positions and dancing, dude, that was really hard to explain to people. We spent like hours marking things. Did we have world markers back then?
No, we had flares.
Oh yeah, we kept shooting flares.
Yeah, and then
okay, so you'll be standing there. When you get 2 stacks in the buff, you walk away back there, and the next people go out, and then the group go do this, because you really couldn't get like multiple stacks of the ticking like dot. You just die, you know.
It's damage over time. They actually, you know, the mechanic, they implement that in Mythic, because I remember doing it and I tried to explain it to other people, but I'm glad that they actually reintroduced that in Mythic. Is it on normal as well?
Which one?
Dot that he does. So you have to go back and forth.
In Hellfire Citadel?
Yeah.
I haven't done it on Mythic, so I don't know. But
he doesn't do it normal, does he?
I mean, I don't think so. I don't really remember that mechanic, so that's probably a Mythic only thing.
Yeah, they're doing Mythic then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember like this is the fight where like, again, a lot of people had to pay attention, because you were in a group and you had to move when you were told to move and so on, and yeah. It was just cool. I remember this guy dropped some cool stuff for rogues. Let's see.
Oh, and the priest stuff. You know, the one that matches the set?
The priest on a stick.
Yeah, priest on a stick. You got priest on a stick and
staff
you
of
got
Michael's cover.
You got Fell Pop on the stick as well.
Fell what?
Fell Pop.
Oh,
this boss of Illidan.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember the Shroud drop from here. That's such a cool cloak model. The Shroud of Forgiveness. I remember being after the dagger here. I can't remember why I was after the dagger, because I think at the time I was doing this, I think I just wanted it because I thought it would look cool, but in retrospect it doesn't really look that cool. Whatever. Let's kill him.
That one.
Oh yeah, Zardum. That's from Illidan himself, isn't it?
Yeah, from Illidan, yeah.
Yeah. It looks weird. I remember Silas ran Illidan so many times on his Warlock to get that. Priest on a stick. Yeah. So let's see if he can make one of us the thing.
Yeah, another thing he does is acidic bites. You have to do tank swap.
Yeah.
So obviously,
man, he gives that a lot.
Yeah.
So then like 10 stacks and then you switch. And there's the blood boil he does every now and then, yeah. That's just non-dispellable as well. He did a lot of damage, I remember. I remember this one being a fight where we had a lot of healers because we needed it.
If you had paladins, you had the advantage because you can do this.
Yeah, you could, yeah. Sadly, it doesn't get rid of acidic wound, but it got rid of blood boil at least.
Yeah. You can't apply a new stack of.
Yeah. Oh, is he doing the thing for you?
Knock me, yeah, knock me back. So that's
did
why
you
you
get
had
the buff?
him against the wall. No. So that's the reason why you.
Here we go. You're doing a breath. Oh yeah, breath. You also had to make sure that people didn't get hit by the breath. There's a lot of mechanics. Like TBC was when here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Alright, he's doing insignificant. So everyone else gets insignificant, and now you're like massive, and you do like extra damage or shit. Fell rage. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. It was cool. Oh, priest on a stick. Sadly, none of us can use it, so rip in peace.
Shame. I love that.
Yeah. Also, this trinket, by the way, looks exactly like a gem.
Gem,
So
yeah.
if you like, I know more than one person who accidentally sold it. So yeah, that was kind of a thing. They should have at least like flipped it around. Hey, I got the priest on a stick. Who have we left now? I think we're moving up to Mother Shahraz, right?
Yeah, Mother, and that's
Yeah.
it. Well, Mother and then Illidan and the council.
Yeah.
But I'll say it when we get there. Yeah, this after this bit, this is where the most valuable bosses are, because that's where they get the tier
Yeah,
tokens. So
in Black
lot of
Temple you had to
people
kill all of
just-
these
yeah.
before the tier stuff.
Yeah, people used to sell instances so that
Yeah.
like high-end raiding guilds don't have to waste time killing the bosses that we just
Yeah,
did,
I
so
remember
they
that
can-
as being the case. Like guilds that couldn't really get as far, they're like, oh yeah, we killed up to Reliquary or whatever, and then we stopped. But we can't really kill them, and we're not raiding often enough. So then they just like whisper, like method or whatever. Hey guys, we can sell you a raid instance, so they can just skip all the stuff that's to save time, basically, because they had the money. This is the whorehouse. Sorry.
Yeah.
Concubine area.
Concubine.
Yeah. So are all of these succubi, or are some of them actually blood elves?
They're humanoid, so they can't be was it concubines? Wait, hold on. Isn't concubine a demon?
No, a concubine is basically a escort, like
Escort, yeah.
or a prostitute.
Oh
or
right,
whatever.
yeah. Oh,
But
I'm
like
being
they're
charmed.
casting mind control.
You better
Okay,
run away! I'm gonna kill you. You better run away.
I can't. I'm stunned. I'll sort it out. Don't you worry.
They made it good because like before you can actually one shot your raid.
Yeah, I remember this being the case. It was always funny when someone like a really good DPS got mind controlled or whatever. So that guy's a slave. I think some of these are succubi. I mean, obviously the Sisters of Pain are walking around in the open, but I wonder if literally all of them are, or
Are
if
these
there's
all
literally a
for-
lot of blood elves.
Are these all for Illidan? Why are they here?
I'm sure it's not all for Illidan, right? Like it would be for other ones as well.
For his pals, like
For the demon hunters,
Some
maybe? I don't
Vash,
know. Who
Kael'thas.
knows? It's
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, for Kael'thas and Vash, well, maybe not Vash, but these don't turn into. I know these lobies, low one, like they don't turn into succubi. I don't think so.
No.
I don't have a link to my add-on configure pack. It is customized. It's a customized version of LVUI that I've set up and customized on my own. I will probably at some point make a video of showing people what I've done and maybe even upload a profile or something. But mostly it's just download LVUI and then just start playing around in the settings. Move your unit frames around, decide the size of them and so on. It's fairly straightforward, although there's some tricky stuff that you basically figure out after playing with it for a while.
But they've actually got table of food. He's treating them well.
Yeah. I mean, this whole place is a little bit strange. This room in particular,
It kind of feels out of place, doesn't it? With like just outside the doors, you got
You go in the
army of
sewers
demons.
and everything. Black Temples, yeah. I don't know. If these were all like, demonics and like the Shivalas or whatever they're called, the okay, these are respawning now.
They're respawning.
Yeah.
Can you farm these? No, you can't. They're not respawn. We haven't touched these ones on the.
Are you
left
sure?
side.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure of it.
Maybe I just like lost my sense of direction.
Someone says, want these in Karazhan.
Yeah, versions of these we can, but they were in fact succubi in Karazhan.
Yeah,
Like these ones.
they're spectral, weren't they?
Yeah.
Going the wrong way, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just checking. Like, that's where we came from. But yeah, we're going left. Will you guys ever go back to Final Fantasy 14? I love the dungeon videos. I think that's likely that at some point there'll be more Final Fantasy 14 stuff, yeah. Why is there a blue dot? Am I making... No, that's just the map. Okay, never mind.
That's you. I don't see no blue top anyway.
Who is the other guy? Nielsi? Sorta. He's blue.
Yeah, kind of. Sorta. At least I'm not Bree or Monkfish or any other person.
That's a lot of people you've been confused with.
With.
Yeah. Now, Blue is a friend of ours, and he's a cool dude, and he knows a lot about WoW, which is why doing this with him works out pretty well. So it's good stuff. I believe Nalzi is in fact playing Diablo 3 right now, so there you go. So this is when you like move up, because this was like the nicer areas of Black Temple.
Yeah.
I guess this is where people lived, you know, back before this
The
became...
1%.
Yeah, back before this became like a preparation to fight and kill everyone. Which it inevitably did. More concubines.
The what was it, the succubus? They had a thing like they had like a damage shell. So if you hit it, it gets was it reflected back on you. So you have like warlocks one-shotting each other, or themselves at least.
Sister of Pain and Sister of Pleasure. Alright, we're just gonna leave this area, I think, and go out over here. But again, like lots of courtesans, but they're all walking around next to demons, which is sort of making me think that they're not just elves. Because why would Illidan have so many just female elves being around? I mean, yes, everyone is gonna joke, but like that makes no real sense. Like it, I feel like these are all like succubi, or you know, these type of the six-armed ladies, whatever they're called. Shivala?
Yeah.
Shivala?
I think that's the one.
Shivara, so what they're called, with two R's.
The charming courtesans, they're humans.
Yeah, it says humanoid. It doesn't say
No,
demon.
the model is actually a female human.
Yeah, that's true. I don't even know then. I assume they're shapeshifted like demons, you know. But why they're all walking around in no clothes and pretending to be hookers? That one I don't really know. Anyway, so this is like the path to Mother Shahraz, who is the leader of the Shivara, and you know, who's working with Illidan. Because I think Illidan conquered them and basically forced them to fight against the Legion.
Don't kill this one. Don't kill this one. Don't kill this one. So these ones actually make you big. They give you like a debuff to was it make you bigger or smaller, like do more damage. So let's see if that.
The Light of Dementia?
A Princess of Dementia, I think.
Okay.
Or is it the Delight? I don't know. See what happens. But what's her story? Why is Mother Shahraz here?
Well, the idea was that, like, as Illidan with the Naga and the Blood Elves and the Ash Tongue, or the Broken, he conquered the Black Temple and basically took control of a lot of demons. The idea was then, like, they now fight for Illidan. And the supposed idea is then that he's going to fight with these Illidans, like, with these demons against the Legion. But most of the time what happens is that he fights against the people on Outland. He fights against the Shatra people, and against the Aldor, and the Scryers, and the Draenei, and he kills a whole bunch of people. So, like, it's this whole retcon thing, oh, secretly he was fighting against the Legion all the time. We didn't see much of that. That's all stuff they made up afterwards. But that is, you know, and according to everything, what he was doing. Which is a bit okay. He's not. They're not making us bigger. Or smaller.
They're not. Yeah, they're not. They can't hit because they're.
Yeah, I guess so. Rip in peace. So yeah, this is the shadow resistance boss, quote unquote. She had a lot of shadow damage, so there was originally an expectation that you'd have shadow resistance gear once you get here. That eventually sort of got dropped a little bit, and people could do it mostly in their normal gear with a couple of things shifted on to make it a little bit easier on the healers. There was a very complicated... I think I remember this one being one of the first bosses I downloaded a specific add-on for. I think. Because the Mother Something add-on. That basically told you where to go. Because this is one of the first times where like you got targeted to go a place because other people had a thing you were locked together with a certain color or something, you know?
Oh, so basically you tied with 3 other people and you have to spread apart. Because you do AoE damage each other as well as people around you. So the further away you move apart, you do less damage and you break the bonds between all 3 of you. That's the point of it, I think.
Yeah. People in chat are basically talking about what was revealed in the Illidan book and stuff like that. The Illidari, the Demon Hunters then, and then were fighting towards the Legion and kill a lot of Legions, and therefore a lot of demons joined up with him to fight with him and so on. And specifically they did stuff behind the scenes to fight the Legion. And I agree with that, yeah, that is basically what they were trying to do. But it is basically stuff that they made up afterwards, and that is part of why it feels a little bit forced. But it's true, yeah. Okay, let's do this.
And she also has things like prisms, so let's just start.
Yeah, we'll let this go for a while.
business or pleasure?
I don't think she'll teleport us because there's only 2 of us, and I think it only needs you need the 2 tanks plus 3 other people to actually see it.
Yeah.
But she does apply prism, so she gets weaker to a school of magic.
Prismatic are nature.
Nature.
Yeah.
Boomkins.
And I'm silenced for like 10 seconds. I remember that one. Okay, I might die actually. Oh no, she's totally done. Okay, what do I get now? Oh no, I didn't get a thing.
So that's
Do we have a thing
so
next to each other? Yeah, it teleports us 2 together, but I didn't really notice us taking damage. Oh,
Yeah,
there.
well, the thing is, you can't teleport the tank, and it was only you
Yeah.
that's been teleported, so you
I
would
guess
need
the
another
thing.
person. Yeah.
Yeah, the part of because we're few people, we don't always get to see all the mechanics here, really. But yeah.
Enjoying yourself.
But she does like a link damage. You might notice as well when she's attacking. You see the little like lightningy thing between us, which happens as well.
Yeah.
Her sword used to be a really good offhand. I remember you
I've got
wanted,
it.
for a rogue, you wanted the Blade of Infamy from Hyjal and the Blade of Savagery from her. That was like the best weapons you could have. Until the Vendor Fists came out in 2.4, but yeah.
Don't be
I love the
shy.
model for it. I there's nothing that's similar to it.
Yeah, it's very unique. It's a very unique style.
And the other sword that I wanted was the one from Blackwing Layer. Which boss that is? The 3rd boss in Blackwing Layer.
Are you
It
thinking of
looks
the
like a
dragon sword? Yeah.
Yeah, the dragon one.
Whatever
That's
it's
the
called, the
cool
Red
one.
Dragon something. I can't remember. Peter, what order should I read the books in, by the way? They kind of jump around a little bit chronologically. There should be a list. You could probably just like Google "WoW chronological book order" and you should be able to find something. I think we've pretty much seen what she can do to us.
Yeah,
at this
we
point.
kill her. Yeah.
Stop toying with my
Okay, now she just goes berserk, and now she just kills. She does more damage.
Yeah,
finish.
pretty much.
Hey, tier pieces. I assume you have all of these already. I mean,
Yeah.
there is no tier piece for me anyway, so I'm just gonna greed.
Be for it. Yeah, go for it. I'm passing.
Should I read the 40,000 year war books? That's Warhammer. That's no Warcraft. That's
Let's
something
see.
else entirely. But
These
yeah,
used to be a pain in the ass.
yeah, they were really painful. Not so much anymore.
You could one shot a person.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of lore literature around for World of Warcraft.
It's a
isn't there?
lot of Warcraft lore actually. Books, yeah. I mean, I read some of them. Some of them I regret reading. Some of them were fine. There's a couple of authors you can generally trust to be reliable. Christy Golden's good. The guy who wrote the Illidan book is pretty good too. As much as I dislike the retconning, I've accepted it. Basically, it's one of those things where you go like, I think this is kind of stupid, but it's the story they're going for, and if I just accept it, I'll enjoy it a lot more. You know. I am now fine with it as long as people don't try to pretend that secretly we were the bad guys for daring to fight glorious Illidan. We had plenty of very valid reasons to fight Illidan at the time, and we did the right thing. But yes, okay, fair enough. Maybe he was still fighting the Legion all along. That's fair enough. I'd say avoid everything written by Richard Knock. I think he's a not very good writer, and in fact, the War of the Ancients trilogy is pretty damn horrible. And it's kind of a shame because it has become a pretty important book that has a lot of like stuff in it that is important for the lore. But I think it's pretty awfully written, personally.
Shots fired.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's my opinion.
Your entire opinion.
Sorry, Richard Knack, if you're watching this stream, but I'm just
Which, yeah, it's very likely.
yeah, I'm just not a really big fan of your writing. I'm sorry.
But
What did you think of the Warcraft movie lore-wise? Okay, I have yet to actually see it, which I know will come as a surprise to a lot of people, but I really have not seen the Warcraft movie yet. A lot of people just didn't seem to like it that much, and honestly, I'm just not really interested in Warcraft 1. I think Warcraft 1 is like the most boring of the Warcraft stories. So the story itself doesn't really interest me. I'm definitely gonna see the movie at some point, but it's just never been like really high on the priority list of things to do. I never went to see it when it was in the cinema, so I guess now I'm just waiting for it to come out on Blu-ray or something, and I can just like, you know, get it on iTunes or, you know, whatever, Amazon Prime or something, and watch it in like a really good quality and see if I can enjoy it then, because I didn't really think it was that great. What did I think about the twist in the Illidan book, the Nauru prophecy and stuff? I thought that was pretty stupid. I thought that was really stupid. Like, in the end of the Illidan book, where a lot of shit is going on, like he just gets a message from quote-unquote Elder Naro that says he's like the ancient warrior of light, and like in the future he will lead the army of light against the void, and he sees himself wearing like a golden halo and a golden armor, and it's just like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's like the complete opposite of what Illidan is about. That's really not what he should be. He's an anti-hero that like is a demon hunter that fights using like and does evil things to fight the Legion. That's who he's supposed to be. That's what he's supposed to do. He's not supposed to be a golden warrior clad in light being the greatest hero. That's bullshit. That's completely against what Illidan should be. So that was a really dumb twist. Okay.
Okay, for these bosses, do you remember this or?
Yeah, I remember basics of the thing. Like I remember the rogue, Dark Shadow, kept vanishing and attacking people. I remember as a rogue, I was on interrupt duty, and the key was to basically alternate between I wanted the mage and the priest, and having, depending on who the hand of protection went on, you had to switch and be ready to interrupt that one, and you had your mages interrupt the other one. Also, there was a lot of avoiding shit on the ground. I remember calling this boss the Grand Olympics of don't stand in shit. Because there was a lot of shit again. The Blizzard hurt a lot, the Flame Strike hurt a lot, the Consecration hurt a lot. Everything hurt a lot. Like, yeah. It's a really cool fight. I actually genuinely enjoy this fight. I always enjoy like console fights. I think they're really cool because it feels more that you're fighting. I like fighting multiple people in a fight. I think it's more interesting when there's more stuff going on and like everything has interesting mechanics and everything. You know, council fights, quote unquote, is what they call them. But I think they're pretty cool.
Well, what's so good about these guys? Are these like the first guys that had shared health pool between four? Because like before, you could like burst down one of the four, and then you would have three. And then
yeah, I mean, remember we last week. Go ahead.
You could constantly have to deal with all fours.
Yeah.
All four of their stuff.
Because I remember last week we went to do Gruul, and before Gruul you had Malgar, and that was basically council fight as well, with a bunch of them. In Separatron Cavern, there was all of the Nagas in one fight that all do different things, and same thing there, you wanted to kill them in order and burst them down and so on. But yeah, this one is, I think you're probably right, this is the first one where they shared health. So like throughout the entire fight, you always had to deal with all four of them. And that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, you have to avoid all the AoEs, and I thought it was really good. But you want to get it started?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just walk up there and
like,
let them start doing things.
Such a crude length.
So you would interrupt Lady Milan's.
Yeah, so I'll basically be on Lady Milan to interrupt her smites as much as I can.
That's
while
not smite. It was a heal, right? You want.
Well, she do. Yeah. Mostly. Oh shit! I accidentally attacked. Mostly you want to interrupt the heals and everything, because they're way more dangerous. Circle of Healing, for example, that's the major one. Because that healed like all of them. That was really important that you make sure you had that one. If you had enough interrupters, you could maybe worry about interrupting that one as well, but it's not really that big a deal. Meanwhile, like, you had to, whenever Kael'thas cast Hand of Protection on someone, like, that means you couldn't physically interrupt anymore. So you had to have your mages or, you know, ranged spellcasters switch. So then at that point, everyone else went to interrupt server and stuff. Meanwhile, the rogue was just being awful to everyone. Just like turning around, like backstabbing and everything.
But he can leave for his Blessing of Protection, which is kind of...
Well, you can do that now as well, actually. They finally give it so that you can attack. You can bubble and still attack now, yeah. Thankfully.
Oh, Blessing Protection, okay.
And Blessing of Protection as well, I think. I'm not sure about that one, though, but...
Yeah, I should really like turn on game sounds because I do like some of the comments these guys make, or the voice thing.
Yeah. Well, when we pulled, like, the Nethermancer was all like saying, like, our language sucks, and then he starts talking Thalassian. He's very Blood Elf pride, this guy. He's super into, like, the Blood Elf. And these were pretty cool. They basically, like, I don't know. I thought they like the idea of this sort of fight was cool, and like having this shows like a little bit of a Blood Elf thing. I wonder like how like so the interesting thing about this, right? At this point on, the idea is that we've already killed all the Blood Elves in Tempest Keep. We've already killed all the Naga in Serpentine Cavern, but we still then fight some Naga and some Blood Elves here. But that's because they were placed under different things to do different things. I take it like these are called the Illidari Council, but like I get the feeling like, you know, Kael'thas and Vash were probably on the council as well. They were probably like higher ranked than these guys, you know.
Final moments.
Should we just kill them? Because I think
I guess so. I don't think they're doing anything more.
yeah, it's just one thing. to
Yeah.
kill. Anything good? No.
Not really. Tier gear, but yeah.
I thought this bit was epic.
I thought it was really cool, yeah. Like, Akama shows up again, and he's like, the time has come to face Illidan.
And just like everyone running up to the top. Remember the
Yeah.
first time you ever did it?
Dude, it was
That was
really
so cool.
badass. There's a video out there on the YouTube somewhere of our first kill of Illidan. I didn't record it, someone else did.
You know who recorded our first kill?
No?
Shaika.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Shaika mentioned that she used to record, but I'm usually
Yeah.
the one recording, I mean, for obvious reasons, I'm usually the one recording our kills these days.
Remember, yeah, was it Warcraft movies? That used to be a massive thing. Like they had all the different contents, PvP and PvE. Whatever, is that still going? Let me check.
I'm trying to find the Illidan video, but I only find the shitty one that another guy recorded with about 1 FPS.
And like half of your screen is filled up by action bars and whatnot.
Yeah, it's actually awful.
But this is cool. So he's summoning the spirits.
Yeah, the idea is like all of these spirits are like the people that were there before. They could teleport you around and stuff in the instance, but he's like, I don't have the strength to break open the door alone. And they're like, you are not alone, Akama. Your people will be with you. Because they're like, basically Ashtong that Illidan's killed because Illidan's an asshole.
But we've met them. We've met them through questing. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, no, you meet them through questing through Shadowmoon and stuff. And then they are there in
I thought it was
as
through like
spirits.
Negran. One of them met in Negran, no?
Yeah, no, you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right.
But yeah, look at this view.
Wary.
Yeah.
This is so cool, yeah. I think they have updated Illidan's model actually, so he should look a
They
little
have,
bit cooler.
yeah. Yeah, because obviously, no spoilers. Yeah, it looks so much better now.
Yeah. And he's ridiculously big. But if he would just stand up straight, I'd not even reach his knee, I think. But that's how they do. They always make things look bigger.
So he's pretty much been sitting there, like looking into the skull for like 10,000, not 10,000 years, but yeah,
Yeah.
chilling
He's
away.
sitting there
you know.
chilling, talking to, like, looking at the skull of Gul'dan. Which he, in theory, he was supposed to have consumed. I guess the skull was still around. There
Well,
you
we
go.
get this. We can't get the skull of him, can't we?
Yeah, yeah, it drops as an item, so. It's time to kill Illidan. I wonder what he thinks. Like, there was this big post right after there's a post right after Legion was announced that you could be Demon Hunter and Illidan would be like a dude. That like posts out of the perspective of Illidan. And he's like, oh shit, bad things are happening. I'm sending my Demon Hunters to go, because the invaders are coming up the Black Temple. I hear them coming up. What the fuck? It's a Demon Hunter. Oh well, he's gonna be fought. I will kill him, and he one-shots me. It's like, shit. Because it's basically what's gonna happen when you run back here and do this on level 100. Just a subscription, Gudrillian. It's a cool name, by the way. Ready to face Illidan. Oh man, I'm gonna increase the, like, okay.
Yeah, you want to put the volume up.
One of the
Well,
things for this one, we probably won't hear it anyway, but this guy has like a soundtrack of 5 different songs for different phases. It felt so epic when you did this, because it took way over like 10-12 minutes when you fought it normally. Now we're not going to be here for 10-12 minutes, but still, like, it's cool.
And all
Hear a bit of each,
outland
at least.
shall be free.
See, like, what do you say? I should have slaughtered you and your malformed brethren. Like, that's not something a nice guy said. I should have killed you and your ugly pieces of shit. And then he says, like, Outland will be free. And my people will be free. Oh yeah, totally a good guy, though. Sorry, not salty. Not salty.
Phases?
There we go, the music kicks in.
Oh, I listen to music as
A
well.
little bit, yeah. I mean, it's mostly background music, but yeah. So first phase pretty straightforward mostly, I think I seem to remember. This is just the kill everything.
Well,
Oh man, music
yeah.
got crazy.
Everyone stands behind him. The tanks
Yeah.
stand in front of him. He does a thing called shear and
Does,
then-
yeah, she splits damage, isn't it, or something?
Oh, parasites.
Oh, you have to run out, or if
Tank-
you,
tank-
because then
tank,
parasites.
Tank.
I can't
tank.
tank, I don't have a taunt.
You don't have to.
No.
Kind of demon hunt, are you?
I'm
So you
not-
got this
I'm not vengeance.
parasite. So you want to kill him before he parasites you. So once he parasites you, he'll make a duplicate, and then it just overwhelms everyone. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, there's the, there's the parasite. Parasitic Shadow Fiend.
And now you're leeched or whatever it is.
And now he's like summoning all his friends. Oh shit, I accidentally auto-attacked him.
That's fine.
That's fine, he should only go into
That's
phase
just
2.
phase one. That's just phase one. That's pretty straightforward. So now he's in the air.
Yeah,
Well, you
now
better-
like Akama is gonna deal with all the minions. This one is interesting. Here's where you needed a fire elemental tank, a fire resistance tank. So you had like a fire elemental tanking these like individually, moving like one of them moved like they
Slowly,
both
yeah.
moved clockwise around this little circle to like drop fire on the ground where everyone is sort of standing inside. Where you gradually kill them and said this was a really intense phase.
You would have to
I
go back.
remember.
So it's a half circle. So they leash to the
Yeah.
glaive. So
You
you would have to do half
Where do I
circle.
go back? Roughly when I reach here, or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
And then
from
you
6
basically
o'clock to
go
12 o'clock,
inside.
Yeah, yeah. And
these-
you kill one at a time.
Yeah. If you killed like yeah. Anyway, there goes one of them. There goes the other.
That one, yeah.
And then he
And he
lands.
does like splash damage. So
And I see the music immediately changes. Da, 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 da. And he grabs
This
his glaives again.
he's just in the sky shooting lasers like.
Yeah, while that's going on.
This phase is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's the 4 one that
First
gets
one.
really like. This is phase
Yeah.
3 basically.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
phase
yeah,
4 that
yeah,
was the
yeah,
problem
you're
with the floating eyes
Yeah.
and the beams and shit.
Wall of
Yeah.
tank. Yeah. So we will have to wait because we don't want to make him go into 5th phase because he doesn't become the massive demonoid, does he?
Yeah. Now we have agonizing flames, 65,000 damage over 1 minute. Rip in peace. And he just draws soul and
Healer,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, this is painful for you people. Alright, let's see if we can get him to phase 4.
Hopefully he goes soon.
Well,
Oh no!
sadly,
He's a-
god damn it.
What happened there? That's why
I tried to attack him just with an auto attack or something, but I killed him.
don't wear weapon.
I know.
And
We didn't get to see 4 as well. Anyway, this, okay, no, we do get to see phase 5, even though it's at 1 HP.
Oh yeah, 5. Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
5.
So, like, after you finish phase 4, like, he's like, is this it? And he stuns you. And then Maiev shows up. And then Maiev fights with him. And phase is really tough, but you, like, the idea is, like, you have to, like, you have to kite him over the traps that Maiev dropped down. Oh, he died. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, I killed him, guys. But yeah, once you get him down, like, you can finally beat him. And then they have, like, a nice little dialogue.
This is kind of a weird position.
Hello.
Sorry. Yeah. So this fight it normally goes for like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, a long one.
But they don't no longer do like long fights anymore, which I don't know if it's a good thing, but.
I think they've said that they want
more
fights
epic.
to at most be 10 minutes. The problem with like a fight that goes 12, 13, 14 is when you wipe on the last minute.
Wipe, yeah.
And it's so
Yeah.
awful. And obviously the last phase is usually the hardest one, you know?
Yeah.
He's still
But
sitting around.
It does feel epic. Yeah, we still need him. 1 HP. Good on this.
There we go. Rest in peace.
Glaive?
No glaive.
No glaive. Oh!
But a black bow.
Ah, I wanted that in my hunter. No.
Sorry.
It's right. This is the best looking bow, in my opinion.
Is that your favorite bow? It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's lower the music a little bit. But yeah, it's really, really cool fight.
I was great.
Felt
fight,
amazing
but
when we
one
did
of
it
my
the first
favorite
time.
one. Yeah, one of my favorite.
When we
It-
killed
it-
him the second or third time, we got a glaive to drop. I was on my rogue at the time. And it was either going to go to me or another guy. And I decided
other
at
guy.
that point to like I voluntarily gave it up to the other guy to like get some goodwill
nice guy.
and stuff. It worked. It worked okay, I guess. It was fine.
Yeah.
But that means I didn't
Well,
have like a life.
At least this is what didn't happen. So we got our first Warglaive, which was a main hand. We gave it to a rogue, and the week after he quit. WoW.
Shit,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah.
But that happens so often, like especially if it's something you worked for, like if it was Shadowborn or something, and you like he kept doing it, finally got it, and then eventually he got bored. Because probably at the time you got Shadowborn, like you weren't really progressing through Icecorn anymore. Maybe a little bit on heroic, but for the most part you weren't really. And then you know he just got bored and quit, and it's like well, or he got like poached to another guild or something.
Well, we were progressing through Sunwell, so I mean, Warglaives were always good. But another thing happened when, do you know Undirge?
Yeah, Dirge, yeah. He's still.
So, yeah, he used to be our main tank in Yogs back in Vanilla.
Okay.
And we had 2 warriors with left binding, and the right binding dropped, and decided to give it to Dirge. He got the Thunder Fury. Yeah, he was a main tank. He was a really good main tank in the Vanilla. And they gave him the Thunder Fury, and then after a while he kind of quit, and we needed him for, was it Mex now? In the next 40. So yeah, it was kind of difficult because he had Thunder Fury and he kind of quit.
But no, I didn't laugh at LOL giving Dirge. I think like, why didn't you give it to the other people who had the left binding already? Or was he one of the ones who had it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Malavok says, you guys are gonna hate me when I tell you that when I came back for World of Warcraft, I did Black Temple once a week, and the main hand dropped in my first run, and the off hand dropped in the second one. I wouldn't say I hate you, but yeah, that is ridiculously good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't... You can't transmog legendaries yet, anyway, so...
I don't think you will ever be able to. I don't think they will implement.
I think one day they probably will, because the whole idea before was that they said, like, the legendaries are supposed to be special, but if we make them transmogable, so many people are just going to run around with it.
Yeah.
I don't think that necessarily flies, because like it's still a rare drop and everything, and like there's a lot of other cool weapons in the game now that everyone won't just use the legendaries. It's the same thing as, remember when like the transmog system first came out, every paladin ran around in the judgment set. It's like the only thing people did, you know, and, like every rogue ran around in like tier 6. So everyone had the same, but eventually people changed their mind because people want to look a little bit different. And they want to look a little bit unique. So that's
a bit more unique, yeah.
So I think that's going to be the case even then. Like, yeah, a lot, like especially a lot of demon hunters are going to use the Warglaives and so on. But the artifact Warglaives are pretty cool too, and they have like multiple different appearances and so on. So I think eventually they'll do it, but who knows?
Yeah, they probably have to, right? Because I guess getting an Ashbringer, that says it all, really.
Yeah, like that's one of the main things. Like, I mean, yeah, that technically wasn't a legendary back in the day, but it kind of felt like it was more than a legendary. And now now literally every red paladin has an Ashbringer. So, you know, at this point on, there's not a lot of reasoning for that one. And so eventually, I think they're gonna be like 7.3 or 4, so like legendaries are now transmogable, yay, or something like that.
Yay!
Inertia Cactus, the Demon Hunters are crazy mobile when it comes to jumping. You can double jump and you can glide. It is absolutely amazing to play and jumping around like that. It's pretty damn fun. Oh, you got a legendary off the old BC raid like last week? It was a bow. Yeah, you got the Thoradol then, the bow of stars or whatever it's called. It's the legendary bow from Sunwell. It was pretty interesting actually, because what made that unique was that back in the day, hunters had to buy ammunition for their weapons, so you bought arrows and stuff. But Thoradol made ammunition through like stars, so it didn't require ammunition, which made it like really special and really unique. And like that's part of how the damage it did was calculated based on the fact that you didn't have ammunition. Of course, eventually they reduced the need of ammunition for any bow, so it's not quite as special anymore, but it was still pretty cool.
Well, the funny thing is that unique thing made it legendary, but that legendary wasn't particularly that good. You could actually have the other bow, from Samuel,
Kael'thas.
Just slightly worse. But hunters were moaning that they finally get legendary, but it wasn't so great.
It wasn't that great, yeah.
Nah.
That's that's a matter of balancing. They should have just.
Yeah.
It's a simple case to make it better. You just buff up the item level a little bit,
But then
Because
then again,
it didn't really have any special effects aside from no ammunition, right? That was basically
Yeah.
all there was to it. While something like Shadowmourne, I mean, they learned their lesson after TBC. They didn't have rare drop legendaries anymore ever, basically.
yeah.
So the legendaries you had there with Shadowmourne, which was you work towards this, and multiple classes can have it, and it's very special because you had
multiple
like
classes,
like a stacking buff that eventually like did tons of damage and so on and so on. It was cool.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I think that's the only legendary that only one class could use. Well, you can equip it on hunters and rogues, but come on, they wouldn't use it.
It's literally they literally wouldn't use it. That was the only one really that was class specific because even Thunder Fury could be used for like tanks and
Paladins,
rogues and whatever and paladins and
Yeah.
everything. You had Sulfuras, which could be used for basically any 200 wielder, paladins, warriors.
Yeah.
Hell, even more classes,
Shamans.
but they mostly wouldn't really use it. Although I guess you
Yeah.
could. I mean, if you were crazy, you could put it on a. Let's write up on the Felsaver. You could put it on a shaman or whatever, but yeah, 200 announcement
next in
shaman was
line
kind
to
of still a
get
joke. Yeah, on your shaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
my
you
paladin.
never end up getting it, or paladin, or
No,
okay,
no.
yeah.
Yeah, it never dropped for us a single time in Yogs in vanilla. We never saw it, and I was like, fuck. And I saved up all the Arcanite bars and everything.
Oh,
I even
so you basically had
on
it
the
ready
alt.
to go.
Hey, get this. I had it on an alt, and I deleted the alt with all my Arcanite bars, which was like,
What? No.
and then I found it again, and it never dropped.
Why did you just forget that you had a bunch of
Forget,
stuff on the
yeah.
alt? Oh my
Yeah.
god. This type of thing where you basically just like had it in the bank and you forgot you had it in the bank or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, because I had
Damn.
like several bank alts, and I was like bank, banco, banku, and whatnot, and I forgot which one I had it on, but it was okay. Yeah, I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went through that little pain.
Someone saying, I really miss how you had to go to trainers to get your skills. Why did they remove it? Because if you think about it, it was just like another step of a little bit annoyance. Like there's a lot of things like that they put in originally for more immersion and like making it feel more like a real world or whatever. That eventually just they removed because it was more convenient. And like yeah, there is something to the fact that like oh I can go back to the trainer, but a lot of time that just means that like yeah okay well I guess I'll just Hearthstone go back teach and then run out again. It didn't really put any value into the game. It just like made it so that like oh I guess I gotta go back and so on. There's a lot of those type of things that feels really cool when you think about it in the beginning. Like I gotta buy reagents and mix together my own poison for the rogue. That was really cool in the beginning. Like the idea of like buying individual things like to mix your thistle tea, to mix your vanish powder, your blinding powder, get herbs to like make the poisons that you bought, and then you got it all together and you got it in your bags and you had it sitting in your bags and they were consumable when you used them. But it was a pain in the ass in the long run. It was annoying to run out, and it was annoying like, oh well, guess I need to go get some of these again, go back, you fix, blah blah blah. It took a lot of time, and it's a pain in the ass, and you got jealous of other people that to do it. There's the same system with Warlocks with soul shards, right? It's a really interesting idea that like you get soul shards, so like souls from fallen beasts or whatever, so that you could use them to like cast these massive powerful like spells. Like really cool, like flavor wise it's like really interesting how it works, but it's a pain in the ass for the warlock before a raid to go out and like spend 20 minutes before the raid starts just like killing random mobs to like fill up his bags with soul shards so that it like he has that stuff to be able to be a good class. There's a lot of those type of things that was like cool for flavor wise, but meant it was just worse gameplay for the actual character when you played. So there's some of that stuff. Yeah, you do still go to trainers for profession skills and so on, but not for skills. You just get the skills now and you're leveling up. They appear in your spell book.
Do you want to go to Tempest Keep? We've got like 50 minutes left. Or something
Yeah,
like that.
might as well. Let's do
Because a
that.
short instance, short raid place.
Yeah, good call. Actually, good call. We've been talking about it for a bit, so we might as well.
I mean, Servant Shrine, Cavern, that's slightly
That's a
bigger.
little bit
and probably takes
longer,
longer. Yeah, so So yeah, Tempest Keep would be
That's the Tempest Keep is cool.
be better.
Tempest Keep is actually the first raid I ever did, like ever properly did. I mentioned this before, but back during Vanilla, I never reached max level. I think I quit at about level 57 or something. I wasn't... The thing that really killed it for me was that I never really found a guild to play with. I had like a couple of friends I played WoW with, and one of them went into a raiding guild and so on, but like I wasn't really a raider. I don't even remember if they had like a social rank, if I was there or not, but the point is I wasn't really raiding. And even when I saw my friend, I didn't want to raid, because I saw my friend raiding, and he was raiding Molten Core, and it looked so incredibly boring, and he spent so much time there, and it seemed so shit. And it's like 40 people there, and then he dropped like 3 items from a boss, and it's like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Why would anyone do this? So it's like, fuck that, I just want level or whatever. But, and then I got bored with WoW at the time, like when I was 57 or something. And I came back for Burning Crusade, and long story short, eventually I joined Goon Squad because like maybe some people I want to play with, and I ended up doing that. And so, but I still at the time I was like, yeah, this is really fun. I don't think I'm gonna raid, but I'll talk with like people, make friends, enjoy the game, level up, etc. And then randomly when I was max level, and I think I had been doing a bunch of stuff because I was still doing like dungeons and stuff and like gearing up in non-raid stuff. They were doing a Tempest Keep run and they needed people, so they literally just sort of like invited me. It's like, hello Rythian, just come and be DPS, and it's like, it's Rythian, but thank you. It's like one of the first times I was really like on Ventrilo with people as well, like voice communications. That to me, I don't know about for you, but like for me that really started in World of Warcraft. Like no other game really had voice communication. It didn't really need it and didn't really have it. You just had text chat.
Here's a question. Were you ever shy when you first started to talk
Nah,
to
not
people on
me.
Ven?
It was weird actually, because when I was a kid I was shy, but then I don't even know when it happened. But like just one day randomly, well, not one day, but like at some point I just went from being a shy person to not being a shy person. And I don't know, I don't remember a specific incident that made it happen or anything, but I just remember like when I was a kid I was shy, and then at some point I just wasn't shy anymore at all. I had no problems just talking to people and so on. And I wonder when or how that happened, but it just sort of happened. But yeah, it was the same thing for the thing, and I think that's part of what made it so good for me when I started actually being a voice communication and talking to people, is that I immediately just made friends. I immediately started talking, and I didn't feel too shy to like chime in with jokes or whatever, because I sort of sensed immediately that this like the guild wasn't just like hardcore like serious business all the time. I mean they were basically friends, or at least friendly acquaintances from the same forum, just doing stuff together.
So basically, they're my people. They're my
Yeah, that's the sort of what I felt.
We're
They're
nerds,
nerds, but they're not too crazy nerds. There's the whole like they could definitely make fun of themselves and everything was fine. No one was like high strung. It was pretty chill. But the real thing, right, was that so for me, raiding was, I knew there was like Solgarub, and I knew there was Molten Core and Blackwing Lair. That was most of the Anonyxia. Those are like the raids I've seen. So for the most part, raids had been just fire, just a whole bunch of fire caves with fire monsters and dragons and fire elementals and seemingly super boring stuff. Or there was like you could do some shit in the jungle, you can fight some bats. That was mostly what I've seen in raids.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So boring. Like it seemed so boring. And then randomly level 7 with halfway decent gear, and they obviously needed people to get to 25. They invited me to come do Tempest Keep. They summoned me in, and I was like, so basically here at the summoning stone, just all of a sudden I'm here, and like I should pick up this flight path. And it's like I've obviously quested Another Storm. I had like Lore Master of Outlander or whatever. I mean, didn't exist really as an achievement at the time, but I'd done every quest and stuff in Another Storm, and I loved the place. And then I had obviously done the dungeons like Mechanar, Botanica, etc. But I hadn't done Tempest Keep, the main raid instance, but I always thought it looked pretty cool.
If you wait out here, look at the other dungeons. So on the right, there's one over there, and there's 2 on the left, right?
Yeah, we have Mechanar and Botanica. And then Arcatraz is at the top, I think?
I think, yeah.
I'd say Arcatraz is probably the top. Oh man, I remember doing Heroic Arcatraz. Fucking Heroic Arcatraz was tougher than like Karazhan. That was tough. That was really tough. I remember
But
spending a
yeah,
long
it
time
just
there.
looked epic as soon as you go in there because you know the dungeons and then there's a massive radiance that's in the middle.
Yeah, they were really fun because like because it was only 5 people and they were pretty hard. Like it was almost it's not like Reach now when you go to challenge mode or whatever, but like you picked your group almost carefully when you went to do like a proper fireman. Like you picked friends and people you know that were doing what they're doing, and you were all on voice chat and you did it, and it was like a really cool moment, like to start from finish and so on. I remember doing a whole bunch of those with Gainer at the time, you know. The druid, you might have seen it on guild chat.
Oh
the
yeah.
guy, the guy who the mute rank is named after because he never shuts
Yeah.
up.
Well,
Anyway, so
I don't know if you know the meat rank can actually see officer chat.
what? No, it can't.
I read officer chat when I was the gainer rank.
What? No.
Yeah, you might want to.
I will definitely change that. Okay, I can't change it myself, but I need to let Shaika know. That's kind of a big oversight. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks for telling me. Actually, that's good to know.
I wasn't tell you, but I forgot, and then you just reminded me. So yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't get summoned in here, but like because they had already cleared this part. But like even then, just like this feels really different than other raids, because this is, I mean, I always loved the style of TBC and the crystallized, wild colors. It was so much more interesting than just a fire cave. Like this is way cooler. And you had all these blood elves. I always loved blood elves. Like I played humans back in Warcraft 3, and then obviously humans became very heavy elven focused in the Frozen Throne. I loved the Blood Mage, aka Kael. That was one of my favorite heroes to play with in Warcraft 3. They were like one of my favorite races. And I never really enjoyed playing Horde because they didn't really have a race I genuinely liked. Thought Undead was kind of cool because I liked Sylvanas, but I didn't look like Sylvanas, and I really didn't interact that much with Sylvanas anyway. So you know, I had a few characters and so on. But then Blood Elves added to Horde. It's like, fuck yes, let's do it. And then I never turned back, basically. Oh, no, that's not true. I did turn back a couple of times. Been a lot of changes back and forth. But
that was kind of.
that was mostly for people's
friends.
sakes, you know. Like, if I had my own choice, like I would pick Horde, you know. But,
I'll be Alliance.
yeah, the bringer
Feels
of
bad,
death.
man.
Pretty basic looking. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
You sacrifice for your friends. Anyway,
I don't know
I
if
might
you
have said
remember,
this, but
trash,
the trash, yeah.
yeah, this trash was pretty difficult. Not difficult, but it was tough.
The Phoenix Hawks, yeah. Or do you mean these ones,
No,
the
I
trolling
mean
ones?
the ones in this corridor
Yeah.
that we just killed. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I remember they were kind of annoying. I remember I had a couple of wipes, but trash wipes never felt as annoying because you could, you know, it was just trash. Like, it was fine.
You can get loot
But,
from it.
Yeah, that too. It's actually sad. No, I don't know about you if you remember if I've said this, but my name before I became Rythian used to be Phoenix. It used to be Phoenix online. That was basically my online name for a long time. Because I love Phoenixes. I think Phoenixes are amazing. They're one of the coolest. They're one of my favorite endgame units in Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and 3. I always like the look of them. I like the idea of like a fiery bird, etc. You know, that sort of thing. It's pretty cool. So this was obviously like one of my goals as well. Like, man, if I could get the Ashes of Alarmant, shit, I haven't gotten yet. I thought for the longest time. I thought for the longest time that it dropped from Alar, because I thought that would make sense to me. Like,
Yeah.
that's the boss. It would drop from the boss, right? But no, it doesn't. It drops from Kael'thas for some reason. I guess because he's the final boss, and yeah, Alar works for him. Because in Warcraft 3, the ultimate spell of the Blood Mage and Kael'thas was summoning a phoenix, and phoenixes back in the day was cool. There's also a hero in Dota 1 and Dota 2 called a Phoenix that used the same model. Anyway, this boss fight was kind of tricky because you had to have people move around from platforms, and it was really important they were there in time.
Otherwise, he does an AoE, a raid by AoE.
Yeah, I remember people falling down from the platform a lot. That was weird. And he's like two faces. This the fight face when you're down as well. Anyway, let's see if I can pull him.
So you have range
Jesus.
and the healer's down there. Yeah, he's going to
He
face
goes
you
there. Of
straight
course,
away.
it is there.
Oh no, yeah. So he's gonna start flame buffet.
Yeah, flame buffet.
Buffeting.
Flame buffet. Yeah. It's spelled the same way, you know, like it's
Yeah.
stupid.
Oh,
English
pardon my
language.
French.
Exactly. Yeah. So then you need to
Yeah.
go into melee range so that he properly attacks you.
So he attacks you. Yeah. So now he'll stop buffing.
Actually,
you.
he's still buffeting me.
But you
I don't
can
know.
get. Oh, let me taunt.
Okay. I wish I had a taunt. He's still
That doesn't seem to
buffeting.
work.
Stop.
Let
No,
me-
there we go.
Then
He's
you
going
got
to a different
another-
platform. He's gonna do
And
more
they got
buffets.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you kill him, and then of course, since he's a phoenix, he gets reborn. I guess we're gonna have to kill him, I suppose.
Is
And he
it
knocks
you kill
everyone
him?
back.
Kill him.
Not kill him, but like he gets
So-
thing, and then you just stand here and it's like, wait, why am I still in combat?
Wait for it. Unless we bugged him out.
No, it's
There
fine.
you go.
And then he does his
That's
thing, and he
the
comes back to
animation.
life. And then he's full health, and he does the meteor bombs and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a
That's-
pretty. I remember him being fairly straightforward, not a particularly difficult boss. It could be a little bit
No.
tricky in the first phase if you just were set up wrong, but if you had it sorted so that there was always someone in the right place, it wasn't really a problem. It wasn't too
I thought
hard.
the phase one was it Walk in the Park? It's this phase that normally like mess up because there was like the flame patches and then there's
Yeah.
the meteor.
No, there was still
strikes.
plenty of damage. I remember,
Mm.
but like if you had a solid healing, most people didn't die. I mean, it happened, of course, it always happens, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, there
the
you go.
meteor, yeah, and then he summons the little embers. I had to kill a bunch of embers. That's the thing.
No,
He
you
did
have
a lot
to-
of fire
well,
damage.
Yeah. You have to kite them and then kill them.
Yeah,
Um,
you killed. Do you have to kill them in a particular place or something? Did they have a thing where they?
Oh
Did
no,
they
we just kill them to
respond?
the
You
side.
just kill them in a particular.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just pull them away and kill
Yeah.
them there.
I hope you can you use fist weapons?
No, I can't.
Ah, shit.
I have
if it-
them.
if it
I
drops.
do have them
Oh, you
already.
already
I'm
did
pretty
them.
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
on my rogue. Or I mean, I might have gotten rid of them, but I don't think so.
It's probably one of the best.
Anyway, rip in peace, Alar.
Oh,
never mind.
that rubbish trinket. Okay.
Yeah.
That gives you spell damage as a paladin healer. Good job. good.
Yeah, it was weird.
Oh, there's a phoenix spec, but I've already got one, so you can have that one.
I have one as well. Just greed
Yeah,
on
I
it,
see.
and then we can get. Oh, you passed. Okay. I'll pass again. Well, that doesn't really matter.
No, you go for it.
Okay, fine. Netherbane and the gloves and then the trinket. Did I pick up the thing? Yeah, I guess I did. The little phoenix hawk.
All right, which way do you want to go to? So, like, you can. The funny thing about
Solarian,
this
I
instance
think
is
we'll go for
you can
first.
actually skip the other two, right? To
You can
get
skip
to
Alar as
Kael'thas,
well,
right?
actually. If you're just running here to get the mount, you can skip Alar. You can go straight to Kael'thas, actually. But that was something they added later. You did always have to kill the other two before you could fight Kael'thas originally. You had to kill them all.
Yeah, the gates wouldn't unlock.
The name of the uniframes is LVUI. It's basically a customized version of LVUI. The nameplates is called Kui nameplates. Anyway, so this was the boss I was actually summoned in for. This was the one they needed the people for. So they had killed Alar, they were going for Assassin. This was like they were gonna do Astromancer the first time. And yeah, this is like the first raid I did with Goonswad, and it went so well that it basically made me okay. I definitely want to raid now. That was really fun. So, Astromancer Solarian felt different than other raids because she was like a caster. She was like a Blood Elf caster, and she did cool shit. Man, all these Mark of Illidari. I have my add-on set to like auto-greed them, so I get them stuff. Can we find the frames, or is it special for you? I mean, it's called LVUI. You can download it on tukui.org. I should sort it out on the UI message to say you can download it here and then link or whatever. But it won't look exactly the same because I've customized it either way. But yeah,
What you could kind of do, can you not save the configuration
I can,
under like
yeah.
the WTF file?
I can save most of that sort of settings. Yeah, before I do that, I want to double check so that like what I put there is correct and I don't save like any sort of any sort of my unique profile zone. It takes a bit of work, you know. What I want to do is I want to like
yeah, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it takes some time and some work. What I do want to do is though is make a quick video just going over like, hello, this is my UI, this is where you can download it, and this is how I've set it up to be what I want. So then people can sort of do it themselves. But, you know, I suspect a lot of people will want to be lazy and do it on their own, but yeah.
Yeah. They like what they see, so, you know. Why
Yeah,
bother?
I understand. So yeah, there's a bunch of trash in this room. Most of them are easy, but like one dude always like mind controlled you. That wasn't too easy.
But you know, us being goons, we had to kill the person that was mind controlled.
Yeah, that was key. Like if someone gets mind controlled, the job is to kill him. Yeah.
And if it was Mirrors, everyone had to try, even the healers.
Yeah. But yeah, Astromancer Solarian, like so I was summoned in here like first time step foot in a proper raid, and it was like, okay, well here's what you need to do. You attack there. So this is where they reused the bomb mechanic back from the living bomb from Geddon back in Manila. They basically had Wrath here, the same idea. If you get Wrath, you move out of the raid. You know, that was basically mostly what they told me. Like, do DPS and move out if you get Wrath. There was more mechanics to the fight, but you know, as a newbie, that was mostly put in there to just like fill a number slot and add a little bit of DPS. That was it.
So was it Dundane the Night we asked what's the Mark of Illidari used for?
You can turn in the Mark of Illidari and Fell Tomes to gain reputation with the Scryers.
No.
Similarly,
Was it reputation? I thought it was to turn in for flasks.
you could get flasks from it, but like you could also turn it in for
Oh,
reputation.
really?
Oh, flasks
Wouldn't it
you
be
got
that?
from doing something. No. But okay, let's look this up then, because I know that like Fell Tomes and I think Marks. Because there was Mark of Illidari and Mark of Shahraz, and then there was Fell Tomes and Arcane Tomes, and like the first two were Illidari and Fell Tomes for Scryer, and Arcane Tomes and Mark of Shahraz was for the Aldor.
Oh, okay. Well, it says bears the mark of Illidan. This item can be turned in for turn in at the Scryers or Aldo Bank in Shahraz City. Okay.
Currency for you can trade it in for flasks. But I think as you do it, you get reputation for turning it in,
by proxy,
or something.
I hope that answers it for him.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck do you do with the? Maybe Feltome was only for reps.
Yeah. You had the
Feltome doesn't even exist anymore, actually.
The Squire Signet and then the Mark of Salgaris.
That's what it was called.
So, yeah, Mark of Salgaris.
I was mixing up the Scryer Signet with the Mark of the Illidari. The Sun Fury Signet even, maybe? No, that's a quest item.
Oh yeah, one of those. But this
anyway, there's all bunch of basically items to get for flasks and reputation and stuff in the expansion. And they're useless now, though. You can't even vendor them. You know, it's kind of trash. What else for chat? You don't really like the LVI ones who tried over a million comfies and never got the link. That's fair enough, man. And obviously not everyone likes the same thing. You should give GW2 UI a go, or maybe Louis or Alt's UI. There's a lot of really cool UIs. Right, so Solarian, yeah, she does Wrath and she does a bunch of spells. I remember this was an interrupt boss as well. I think you did interrupted stuff, maybe. I might be wrong. No, you can't interrupt. I don't think you can interrupt arcane missiles.
You can't. No. You can't
Whoops,
tank her.
I attacked. Okay, when she goes on to 25 is when she becomes a thing. Was she untankable? Yeah. Okay, so one of us is going to become Wrath, I guess. I hope she does Wrath on me, because I can glide.
If I can bubble.
Rythian, are you from Sweden? Yes, I am.
Wait, this is not Xylus?
Wait, you're not Bree? Welcome to Final Fantasy 14 with Silas and Bree. Oh yeah, do you have the Wrath now?
Yeah, Wrath.
Yeah. And up in the air he goes! Do you just die? I mean, you can bubble, of course, but like, I think normally people just die then. Oh, now I have Wrath.
You take a lot of damage. You take a lot of full damage, but you don't die. It's just a combo of full damage plus random AoE or something that kills you. Oh, this
so people need to make sure to heal you, basically.
Yeah, take a phase where you get ads.
Is this in a yeah, she swaps between this. She goes away and she summons a bunch of ads. You have to kill all the ads, which is easy to do now. And then she comes back. What are these beams? That's where they spawn, right? They spawn from the beams of light. Yeah. So you placed like oh yeah,
Oh,
the priest, the priests. Yeah, of course. So like once it was all done, you stood near somewhere and like you know, be ready to take him out.
Yeah. I think that's. Let me get him to the void.
Okay, yeah. Try to do it without killing her if you can. I don't. God damn, we're too strong. Can you maybe? Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Final phase, she turns into a giant void walker. I have become
die.
one with the void. And then yeah, this is burn face. You have to kill her a lot, but you can interrupt now. I think you can interrupt void bolt.
The sun awaits.
And then
To the
there's
immune.
peace. Yeah.
And this was one of the worst trinkets as well. They had really bad trinkets.
They had some really shitty. Battle Shot grants you 16 attack per. So crap compared to stuff you could get. It was really awful.
Yeah.
And plus 16 stamina. Like I don't know. It was bad stuff
We
back
should
in the
use
day.
a tank. No. Yeah.
I don't know, it was awful. Like trinket balance back in the day was all over the place. They hadn't really locked down like how to value trinkets. They figured like, okay, we can make trinkets be very special. And they did for a while, but making them very special means that some of them was actually complete trash. And then they went back on like not making special. At one point in time they were almost just like stat sticks and they were pretty boring. And they all just had like one stat with a chance for a proc of another, and it was just okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But they eventually figured out to make them a little bit more fun again. Like, you know, they transform you once or have special stuff. So trinkets are usually cool these days.
Well, the itemization in Burning Crusade was really like off. Yeah, it was just random. It was everywhere. Then, like, yeah.
You cut out a little bit there, but yeah, like it was very random, particularly trinkets, because they didn't really get the hang of it. Like they sort of standardized it more. They had their item budget formula, and like if it has this item level, then it has so and so much, and it's roughly like equivalent to the others. Certain trinkets will be more valuable to you because of like how the timing of the proc or the unused can be matched up with your spells, or if a particular stat is more useful for you, etc. But yeah, back in the day, like, I mean, until very, very, very late game, like, the best trinket dropped from Gruul. It was one of the very first ones.
Yeah.
Like, everyone wanted the Dragon Spine trophy.
Even Ret Paladins that can't use it.
Yeah,
did it
that
have
can't
agility on it?
Yeah, it had it.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Did it?
Oh, let's check, actually, because it does work now.
Because what we used to use is
Maybe it just had attack power.
Mongoose.
I think it might have just had attack power.
Okay, yeah, it could have
find
attack power. Yeah, well, we still took the Mongoose enchant because it gave us 5% crit. Because the agility used to give Paladins.
Yeah, it was attack power and a
crit.
chance to increase your haste.
Haste, yeah.
Yeah, I remember people using Mongoose because the alternative wasn't that good. But when Executioner came out, a lot of you switched to that one, right? 'Cause that
No,
was pretty good.
no Ret Paladins. Because,
Not Rat Paladin, yeah. I mean, you were
because
so
we don't need
dependent on
armor
crits. Crit was
No,
like
no.
a huge deal for you, wasn't it?
No, it was haste. But the thing was, for Ret Paladins, we didn't need armor pen because a lot of our damage was magic.
Yeah?
Attachment, consecration.
Yeah, armor penetration wasn't big for you. That was one of the few people, actually, because like almost every other melee wanted armor penetration because it was so good. And Paladin's like, no thanks, we're fine, we mostly use holy damage. So like, alright.
Yeah.
Even for rogues, which had, you know, poison damage and everything, it was still a huge deal, because like, well over like half the damage came from just white attacks, you know? Just like normal melee physical attacks. So it was huge.
Was it Mal Havok said that Mongoose is a really good transmog now. What's your favorite transmog for enchants?
I have a kind of particular fondness for the really, really overly ridiculous Cataclysm enchants. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Did you play much in Cataclysm? But like they had
I was
like,
very casual. I was like in Australia at that time.
Fucking, you've been everywhere, man. Like they had landslide, power torrent, and a lot of those. They were just huge enchants. They like covered up your entire sword. But I always thought they were kind of cool. But I think I always really liked Mongoose. I always thought the sparkling
Lightning
style of everything looked really, really cool. There's so many now, and I really love the idea that we now have them as an option in the appearance tab, that you can find them and unlock them. I think that's a pretty cool thing. They had the basics of that idea in Worlds of Draenor. If you had an Enchanter's Hut, you could like learn, like illusion and stuff, which was cool. But yeah, Void Reaver.
There was actually a bug. Quick thing. There was a bug where hunters could actually enchant their bows, but they put into that.
How did that work? Was that just literally you could enchant it?
Yeah, using the follower at the enchant thing in your garrison.
That's
you can
cool.
enchant the bow to have a visual.
That's pretty cool. Did they fix that or?
Yeah, they fixed it. They were like, nope, we can't be having that. We don't like
fun
fun.
detected. Fun detected. Fun removed. Fun removed. So Void Reaver is, I mean, he looks like he has the Fel Reaver model, but it's like voidified. I remember this one being a pain in the ass. Not particularly hard, but like pain in the ass. I remember.
Doesn't he look like a bit out of place? So you've got like a warlock on one side, a phoenix in the middle,
Phoenix, and there's this great magician, and then a giant robot. Yeah, I did feel a little bit, but I mean, if you look at the mobs we've been killing, they're all been like the the Morg peoples and so on. Yeah, Loot Reaver.
Yeah.
Basically, people used to call this Loot Reaver because it was the easiest one here. And like once you figured out how to do it, and it wasn't particularly hard. Like a lot of people who couldn't kill most of anything in tier 5 still came here to kill Loot Reaver, you know, because he wasn't that hard. But it was a pain in the ass. He's immune to like a lot of spells and shit. I remember. Well, I remember my poisons didn't do any damage to him as a rogue.
Okay, it's mechanical, right?
Yeah, that was incredibly frustrating. I can tell you. Good God, that was annoying. So I always didn't do that great damage. Like pretty much all my experiences back in the days from the viewpoint of a rogue for the most part. Very briefly from a holy paladin as well, but yeah. But so this one, like, you had the range spread out across the entire circle, right? And then they had to dodge those arcane knockback things. While for melee, it was pretty straightforward. You just stand in the back, and then you'd hope you didn't die to his pounding thing, and that was mostly
pounding.
it.
Yeah.
This was one of the bosses. This was one
like
of the
AoE.
few bosses that was easier for melee. I think one of the few bosses that was pretty easy.
Yeah, but there was something to remember for melee. I can't remember. Was it like a splash damage to each other, so you couldn't just stack up?
It was something, yeah. I guess
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we'll find out. I think he's gonna throw arcane things at us now. But go ahead and like.
Wait, hold on. Let me unequip my weapon.
Okay, as you can
See, that's how you do it, Rythian.
Yeah, I should have done the same thing. Actually, I can forget. Should have done that earlier. For extermination. So yeah, like, oh yeah, there we go. Those. Oh yeah, this is why I hate because you got silenced if you get hit by the orb. So that's why everyone had to spread out, because when it hit one person, you didn't want multiple people getting silenced. And then everyone was just standing at the back of him and just nuking him as much as they could.
They still make the Fel Reaver noise.
Pounding, there we go. You get some of the sound effects, but not quite the same.
Yeah.
I don't remember this guy even having faces. I remember him just being like the same
The
thing
one thing,
from beginning to end.
Yeah. So I
He was
reckon
pretty
we
easy.
just kill him. Yeah, because
Yeah, I think so.
I think
We've pretty
a lot
much
of
seen
people
what he's
killed him.
done.
Pretty much.
Shutting.
I do
Oh, yeah,
like
he
the
dropped
sound effect
so
of shutting down. Yeah, that was part of the cool thing. I think that was probably my first tier gear I got. Was that? No, that's not true. I probably got some Kael'thas tier before, but yeah.
Oh, the Paladin
cool.
set was awful. It was like the Crystal Forge.
The tier, tier 5. You're
it's so
mega
horrible.
purple.
It's pink.
You're mega pink and
pink and
purple.
purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tier 4 looks better for paladins than tier 5.
Definitely, most definitely.
Yeah.
And then you got tier 6, which is probably one of the iconic ones.
Yeah. Oh man, that one is.
You got
a
books on
really
your
good one.
shoulders.
That looks so good. And the little glowing halo, the halo helm basically was cool. Not Halo as in the game, Halo as an actual Halo.
I wish they implemented like hanging
Implemented hanging what?
Librams.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Didn't they say they wanted to do that? And aren't they doing that for the artifacts for like Holy Paladins or something?
Oh, they could. That would look cool. I think that's what they're missing,
'Cause-
because that's such an iconic thing for the paladins to read the books and like get the holy
Yeah.
powers.
Because they were having that, they were talking about doing that at a certain point when they had, because they were talking about stuff like librams and quivers and basically those like accessories thing
Yeah.
that would be visible
Yeah.
and you'd be able to have them around. And I think then eventually it's like, well, that might not be something we put in right now. We're trying to use some of that for the artifact system. And then they specifically mentioned like the original archetype for the paladin back in the day, like when it wasn't the mounted warrior, it wasn't Warcraft 2, was, you know, Uther or original Arthas, you know, before he became the Death Knight. When he was just walking around with a giant hammer and a book at his side. You know, like the holy book and a giant hammer. So that's also part of why they're making now the Holy Paladin have a giant two-handed hammer. And I think, I mean, I don't know, but I would assume that maybe they also get a book? Maybe, question mark? I don't know. You're the one who's actually played Paladin and Legion, so...
Yeah, I haven't unlocked everything with traits and stuff, so I haven't seen it. But that'd be so cool because, like, I noticed on what's his name, Kargath's his model. He has the pouch. I would love to have something that's different. You know, equipment that's not just a weapon on a person's body.
Yeah, I would love that. Like, I think that would be really cool. I've always been a little bit jealous of offhands. Like, when a caster or whatever gets something cool to have in his offhand. Because while I've usually preferred a staff, because I think staff caster is pretty cool, you can get a whole bunch of cool shit in your offhand slot. You could like hold like a lantern, a book, like an orb, that sort of thing. It looked really cool. So, Kael'thas Sunstrider, Lord of the Blood Elves. Man, TBC was a bit of a mess. I understand why they want to retcon a lot of it to make Illidan, you know, not over and immediate, because after having played through Frozen Throne, it was so weird to step through Outland to just suddenly, oh yeah, Kael is a bad guy, Vash is a bad guy, Illidan's a bad guy, they're all bad guys, they're all bad guys, it's fine, they're just bad guys. And it was really strange, and their reasoning for it was never quite as clear. Like, you walk up to Vash and he's like, water is life, we're gonna steal all the water. You're like, alright. And then you walk up to Kael'thas and he's like, we want all the energy in the world because we're totally energy junkies.
Power.
It's like, alright.
People are addicted to it. Made manifest after the Sunwell was destroyed.
I do like the concept of the fight. As someone says, was it Crew? Alex Boy said this fight was overtuned. It really was. But
oh god, it was ridiculously hard in the beginning.
Yeah. I love that it's got a council kind of fight as well as a boss fight.
This fight was my favorite fight of TBC. Like it was so interesting and so unique. So it started with, I remember there was a trick to soloing this early on. You kited Thalred all the way back to the beginning of the zone. We can't do that now because they've closed the doors. But the idea was like you wanted to kill all these dudes in separate areas of the room. Because, spoilers, eventually they're gonna resurrect. And then you don't want them all to be in the same place. So, first of all, you only fight Thalred the Darkener and he doesn't run. So you kite him into a particular place and then basically if he hits you, he always knocks you back. Or he has to knock back and he has to silence and everything. So you kill him in this one area, for example, and then he dies there. Also, is it just me, or do you feel like originally he was supposed to spawn these dudes in a different order? Because the dialogue implies like that Sanguinar should be one of the last ones. And I think Engineer was probably supposed to be one of the first one. I don't know. That maybe I'm just reading too much into like his little introductionary, his little WWE intros, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys are cool. I mean, that's the shield I had for you. Get the shield from Kael'thas.
I got that last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hammer is like a red version. No, that's not even the hammer of the Naru. It's kind of a different looking one. His armor is like super blood elfy though. This is like straight up blood. Like all like black and red. I mean, his name is Lord Sanguinar, which also obviously blood. So
that's pretty much tier 1 with just red. Yeah, it's tier 1 to the
yeah. It's true. It's like a red version of the banana shoulders.
Oh, somebody got a pork glaive.
Oh, motherfucker. Was it offhand or it doesn't count? Doesn't count if it's offhand. It has to be main hand. Sheesh, Rythian's like, you never play Warcraft 3. Dude, I played the shit out of Warcraft 3. It's just weird to me that like they became like more straightforward bad guys like this. Because they really weren't supposed to be. Like, they were being hunted down by the Legion and so on. And then once you get here, they're all sort of spread out. I mean, technically Vash and Kael are still fighting for Illidan. But Kael is trying to, like, you know, betray him and everything. So, there's all that. Capernian is the annoying one. I think she disorients you when you're close to something.
Yeah, and she does knock back the arcane burst. So you have like a warlock tank to actually tank the boss.
Yeah,
Right,
I remember we
is it
had
warlock or is it? Yeah,
I
Searing
feel like
Pain.
Warlock seems about right.
Yeah,
Warlock
Searing
sounds
Pain-
about
I
right.
think Searing Pain.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Melee just standing there holding their stuff.
Yeah,
and-
mostly just stood there with the dicks in our hands, you know, just
Yeah,
doing nothing
I
for the
did wanna
most
say
part.
that, but yeah,
Yeah, it was great.
let's just kill her anyway.
Yeah.
Well done.
But she does a disorientate and
Yeah,
like,
she's one of
there's like
Skills
The
against
This is
Telonicus
like
was
a
a pain in
emulation.
the ass though, because if
Oh.
that bomb happened on people, oh my
a
god.
tank.
Yeah,
Okay.
if the bomb happened, like, and you were just, oh well, that's you've got the debuff now for a minute, and you're gonna get like periodically stunned, and it
I mean,
sucks.
The bomb's not too bad because you can dodge the bomb. It's the remote, the thing that stuns you.
Oh, remote toy. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one I have right now.
So you get the tank to taunt it, spam some sunders, and then run in circles. Literally
Yeah.
run in circles.
Because then the bomb doesn't land, basically,
No.
because he's just focused on a place.
Ah, shit,
While
that's
everyone
what it's-
else just attacks and kills him down.
Yeah.
So here comes the really cool gimmick of this fight, and why this fight felt so different than the others. He just summons like what 7 like legendary weapons that are like independently controlled, and they all do like different things. You have this weapon that frostbolts everyone. This is staff. You have a shield. You have a sword. You have a dagger. You have a bow. You have like everything. Okay, we're gonna have plenty of time to wait now while he waits, but.
Okay.
So once
yeah.
this is done, you walk up there and you just start looting them. And you loot like the one you're supposed to have, like, because they all do important things for the future fight. So,
I'm
you know,
no
if
good
you're
at staying straight.
donation, I'll read it out later. If you have, you know, the tank needs to get the face shift bulwark because the bulwark has an unused thing that absorbs damage and makes him immune to fear and snare. The sword has a chance on hit to make you extra strong. The dagger will cancel mind controls because you would go around and mind control people, so you need to run over there and like. I remember shivving was really good because shiv didn't do that much damage, but it still activated the unused weapon effects. So you use that to mind control people. Similarly, people with the staff, you used a feel on people, made them immune to stun, silence, and disorient, which you definitely needed. And the bow, of course, which just increases your damage taken by the target. So you wanted to make sure that every like the boss always had the debuff on him, and or whatever target you were nuking down at the time. It was really cool. Like suddenly during a fight, you had a legendary weapon that worked very specifically and like was specifically focused on something you did. So you walked in there, you equipped them, and you reapplied them, and it was strange and different, and it was cool.
I like how he follows you.
Yeah, it is weird.
Advisors at once, but
And then he just raises up all 4 of his advisors again at the same time. And now, like, the fight really kicked into gear, because now you needed to have a certain amount of people dealing with Sanguinar. You needed your Warlock already again for Capernian. Dealing Telonicus, you didn't kill him. I remember you killed him fairly late, right? But the fucking
I
toy was
thought
annoying.
you killed Sanguinar first.
Yeah, I think
and
Sanguinar
then-
first.
And then
You kept kiting Thaladad for as long as
yeah.
you could.
Yeah, pretty much. And,
Yeah, and you had the Warlock tank deal with Capernian. So I
Yeah.
think you then killed Sanguinar, then
And
Telonicus, and then
What was
yeah.
Capernian?
Oh my god, look,
Capernian
I
is
got disoriented in the middle of right there. I'm just standing still. That was weird. I don't remember the order of killing these, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'll believe
Been
you
a
if you
while.
say there was an order. I do remember Thaladad you could kite for a long time, so.
Yeah.
So gradually, yeah. At this point, though, you could gradually take them down. Remember, at this point, you suddenly now had legendary weapons, and like that meant you all did more damage than you did normally because you had way better weapons than you had before. So that was pretty crazy. And it was pretty cool because, like, just they were legendary and they were good. But they also had higher item level. And then finally, you get to fight against Kael. Kael'thas,
10 minutes.
Sunstrider, after a long time. Yeah, this was a long fight, which is why it really sucked if you died. Oh shit! I'm in mind control. Run away, Blue, run away. Or possibly don't kill me. I think you just need to wait.
I
could-
can't. You killing me?
This, please don't kill me.
It's you or
Oh
me.
god.
buddy.
Oh god. Yeah, I understand. I'm 8, okay. Rip in peace. It's fine, I can watch the okay, he got... Oh, we didn't get to see the gravity face, that's a shame. I think you just died
sorry.
from AoE. It's fine, what are we supposed to do? Like, I got mind controlled, so... Yeah, either I would have killed you, or you would have killed me. Anyway, what else goes in the fight is, like, he does a gravity phase, where everyone flies around, because you don't have any
doing it right
gravity, you
now.
fly around. Yeah, I can still do it in phase 5, I think, maybe, but... He also summons a phoenix, like that flies around with you, and you have to kite it and kill it in a certain place. Those explosions are always so fucking loud. I have to turn off the sound for that. I don't know why. So loud.
But it's great. You get to see the environment break away. You see
Yeah, I have a good angle for this.
Yeah.
From air down dead on the floor.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Literally, I would have killed you if you hadn't killed me. So,
How
yeah.
do I do sit?
Do you have a? Are you teabagging me? That's not cool, man.
I'm gonna light you up, sweet.
Oh, you're Mana Storm now.
Let us
You
see how
mash
fares
the sit
in your
button.
world,
Like.
upside down.
Oh, there you go. Gravity lapse.
Okay, cool.
I
Are you up in the air now?
I need to fly away from him. I can't be close to him because he gives you a stacking debuff.
Yeah, the nether beam.
Yeah, and you want to spread out because you don't want to get... No. So if I get close to him, look at my debuffs. I'll get something... Nether Vapor. That's one thing you don't want to be stacking because that...
Decreases total health, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're
And-
gonna fall down in a few seconds, though.
It's fine.
No,
you
more
go,
gravity lapse.
You go down.
Yeah, so you
and
don't
make
get
sure
too much fall damage.
Fall damage, yeah.
Yeah.
So, back to what I was doing before.
We haven't seen the Phoenix. Does he not summon the Phoenix in phase 5? I think he maybe only just had him in phase
No,
4.
I think because he didn't summon in phase 4, so there's no egg to actually resummon.
Yeah,
So I think
guess that's the
pretty
thing.
much the fight done.
Yeah,
Okay.
and as he's bigger and more dangerous, but yeah, then eventually we kill him. So take him out.
Okay. But
You just get disoriented a little bit.
I hope I don't die. That might be a little bit embarrassing. Oh, what's this? Oh,
Shin,
did
I
you-
died because I
yeah,
got mind
this-
controlled and Blue had to kill me or I would have killed him. Oh no, there we go. Was that? No, he was doing
that
flowers of
was
flame
the
strike.
AoE that will one shot
Yeah.
you stood in it. Flame strike.
But there we go. That was Kael'thas.
I'm in
That
combat.
was a hell of an epic fight. I remember one of my very favorite WoW videos back in the day was like a guide to how to kill Kael'thas, and it had some great music that I remember finding and like really liking. But this felt like a really epic fight, and of course there was always the chance afterwards that, oh my god, what if you dropped the mount? Maybe you dropped the mount, but he never drops the mount.
No.
I knew he wasn't gonna drop the mount. He never drops the mount.
Did he get the sword? Nope.
Twin blade? No twin blade either.
I've got the look anyway, but that used to be rare because I hardly see anyone with that transmog. Well, back in the day at least.
But when you do kill him, you get Kael'thas in the Verdant Sphere. That one of his spheres he had. Like, so he has 3 of them. That was his thing.
Mm-hmm.
We
You
got a
wanna
quest
turn
to
it
turn
in?
that in. Yeah.
You get to see the
yeah, we'll
RP.
go do it if it works out for the last 10 minutes of the stream.
10 minutes, yeah.
So yeah, and that was the end of Kael, and it was like, yay, hooray! But it wasn't okay. Well, I mean, it's not much of a spoiler. Like, it wasn't too much of a surprise that he came back because, like, literally as soon as you turned in the quest, like Kael'thas spoke. So I think that's basically it. So you sort of knew that his story wasn't over.
So, you know, like in the Blood Elf starting zone, they have those mana fiends. Isn't that what he comes back as, kind of?
Not really, but he does
The
come back as
models-
more like, yeah, he has more of like the fell addicted blood elf, the wretched type model. He does come back. He
Yeah.
no longer looks like his glorious blood elf self. No. Have you seen the video of the group that killed Mythic Iron Reaver in 16 seconds? Yeah, Drive. They're like a speed run
Mages.
guild. There's shitloads of arcane mages, sometimes fire mages. It's pretty interesting. I like watching their videos. It's cool to see just how crazy burst you can get. But Tempest Keep was, man, I love this raid instance. Like, it was felt so different and so unique. It has a certain spot in my heart because it was one of the first raid instances that really made me really fall in love with raiding. Like, I think if that day I hadn't just been like pulled into raid with my I mean, I might have started raiding another time, so I can't just say that, you know, but that was like the step that made me enjoy, you know, the whole aspect of PvE raiding, and I continued after that, so I got to raid everything, Serpent Shrine and Black Temple, and even a limited bit of Sunwell. I didn't get very far in Sun. Hey, Team Meepo. That's a cool guild name.
I was going to ask you, yeah, what do you think? Would you like it if they actually reintroduced Tempest Keep, like, you know, how they're done with Karazhan?
No, I don't think so. I think it's I mean, maybe in a couple of years, possibly. You need to be, like we said last time, because The funny thing is, like, literally last week we talked about
Yeah,
what if
I
they were
hated
gonna redo Karazhan, and then
I
a
didn't like
couple
it
of
at
days,
all.
couple of days later, patch 7.1 Karazhan. You know, they're redoing it, and I know you're not a big fan of it, and I understand why. I do understand why, and I do agree partly with it. It is more fun if they do new stuff than just redo old stuff, but I do think that some things are worth redoing if they make it different enough to make it exciting. Nax, for example, was more or less the same, but it
Same,
made
yeah.
sense because
So much easier though.
it is, but it had to be easier because 0.2% of the WoW player base even set foot in Nexrama's 40. Like, that's not a sustainable business model at that point. That you can't put in that
Yeah,
much
true.
effort for something that no one sees. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Karazhan is a different situation. That is basically just bringing Bob back to go with the whole nostalgia, and because a lot of people have been straight up asking for it. You know,
Yeah.
that's also part of the people, like the problem Blizzard has. So many people ask about, like, oh man, please, we should bring back. I wish they brought back that. I wish they did that. I wish they did that. And then they do, and then it's like, oh, Blizzard just keeps reusing things. The thing is, there's usually different people saying those, but
Yeah.
still, you know, they can't win no matter what they do.
I guess they're doing it different because it's a 5-man instance rather than a 10-man. They're bringing it back as a 5-man, right?
Yeah, they're bringing it back as a basically a mythic dungeon, a long mythic dungeon,
Yeah,
and
really long.
and if you're thinking basically what a long mythic dungeon is, that's basically a 5-man raid. If you think about it, because it's gonna be a
Yeah.
weekly lockout, and it's going to be something, you know, that is longer, and you do at a higher difficulty level than raid. So that's pretty much it. Kami Damiro had a good point. He said that the vast majority of the player base that play now didn't actually play Karazhan back in the proper time. And that's
Yeah.
true. I think there's a lot of people that play now. I mean, who knows the actual percentage of how many people? But there's many people that didn't play back in the Burning Crusade. Like, most of the people that are old school these days, like, most of them started in Wrath. 'Cause that's statistically where they did, because that's when most people started, like, were playing WoW. So statistically, that seems like is where most people started playing. So a lot of people never did Karazhan properly, like at a proper level. So they will get to experience it from scratch. I do agree that, like, it's they gotta walk carefully, because if they just keep bringing back old stuff all the time rather than actually making new stuff, you know, that will suck. But from what I have understand, like, they are doing different stuff with Karazhan. It's not gonna be just numbers changes. It's not gonna be like a time walking raid. It is going to be a new instance with new stuff. So they should be done. By the way, Shin has asked us to overrun a little bit, so we'll just stick it for like
fine.
5-10 minutes longer.
I'm quite curious to see this. So I put a straw poll in chat. So,
Good call, yeah.
I want to see if, like, out of the people that are watching, who has raided Kara back at.
Yeah. Let's copy paste that straw poll a couple of times so people notice it.
Well, interesting. Like, you know, Twitch has a new.
Oh yeah, it automatically appears. Yeah, good.
It says new poll
Cool.
available.
Yeah, it's good to know, because I feel like it's an interesting thing, because I do genuinely think a lot of people will get to experience Karazhan new, because the problem with, like, retro running these days is exactly what you've been seeing throughout the stream and last week's stream. We walk in there and nothing can even touch us, and we genuinely one-shot everything, you know. So it's like, it's a bit of a you don't get to experience it in the way they were supposed to be experienced. Hell, we have to basically stand around. We basically have to stand around and do nothing to even see half of their mechanics that half of the time barely even work, you know. So there's many stuff like that. So there's value in that, I think. I think the easiest system for them to properly get you to do stuff again is to make use of the time walking scaling that they have. Like, clearly they have the possibility to use time walking since we've used it for older dungeons and stuff, and I believe that eventually they will start introducing time walking raids. But I'm hoping that they actually spend time to make the new Karazhan interesting and not just a redo. The best way they can do it is if it has all those like nostalgic beats that make you play it and you're like, oh, this guy, I remember this. Oh, this is gonna be cool. But it's not exactly the same. It's not gonna be exactly the same mechanics, exactly the same bosses, and so on.
They have kind of done the time walking raid with Molten Core. I know it's not the
It
same.
was
and
it was awful.
it's-
I think
it was literally
genuinely
scaled up. It was
the
only
best
scaled
thing,
up.
the best thing for that was it was basically it happened the 10-year anniversary. It was around the time when people were begging so much for like legacy servers and everything. It's like, oh man, everything was better back then. I remember this, I remember that. So they put in Molten Core and they put in South Shore versus Terran Mill, and it was awful because it just was. It just because they didn't look like we're just gonna put it in, like no changes. We're just gonna put it in, and you can enjoy it the way you wanted to enjoy it. And it was awful, and people got to realize like, oh yeah, I guess things kind of are better now. It was so weird.
Well, yeah, I guess that it didn't have the right mechanics. But the results of the poll. So we got 102 total votes. 59 said they didn't play, didn't do Karazhan at 70, and only 43 said they have. So it's
So it's 50-50 roughly
Well,
from
it's
this
58,
audience. I mean, minor. Obviously a minor, like we're not exactly a giant
Not-
stream
yeah,
and
it's not
everything,
massive,
but like
sample.
it's not a huge sample poll, but still it's something. It's half and half. So I mean, if you want to take that in, there's gonna be like half people playing WoW who's never done Karazhan before, so they're gonna have a cool time to do it. And I think and I'd arguably say that like at least a fair amount of people who did Karazhan are still gonna be happy about doing it. You know.
Yeah, they get to experience it. That's what they get to experience it the way it should be. That's the main point.
So you know, that's basically okay. Let's turn in. So the Verdant Sphere that we got, we can turn into Alar, and he's gonna do a little bit of shouting.
Wait, why is Khadgar here?
Khadgar was always here. Remember, he just had a different model. Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
yeah,
first
yeah,
time you
yeah.
came here. You saw Khadgar, and he was just some old guy with a giant white beard. He looked a little bit different, but yeah.
Look, this is what I was saying about the pouch.
can
He's got a
learn
pouch on
here.
his left hand hip.
Yeah, it's like a cool. I mean, thing is, if you look at Khadgar, like he doesn't have the like, giant flashy set. Like he's just a fairly straightforward like mage roby thing with boots and thing. But he looks really cool. Like it's really cool, like a simple belt thing with a pouch and that little thing in the middle of his chest. Yeah, it's cool, but not like overly crazy, you know.
Keep your
And it works for
guard
him.
up.
It really does.
Yeah, no, but yeah. But point of that is like you don't need to have a crazy looking set to be cool. You know, you can go like you notice the difference between you and him. You're like beyond ridiculous with everything added to you,
We
but
will
like it
find a
works for
way
that.
through
But then you
this.
can have like something simple that also works really well. I mean, my set is just basically the fell leather set. I haven't really transmogged anything here, but yeah. So anyway, we killed Kael'thas and we got the sphere, and then Alara wants to talk to us. So. Adal's thoughts intermingle with your own. The sphere. Strange. Did you know that he lived? Yes, it is here, in the sphere itself. Maimed for certain, he calls to a higher power now. No, not Illidan. Higher. Kil'jaeden the Deceiver comes. Not here. Azeroth. Unknown. Rest. Your brothers and sisters will retake Tempest Keep for now. And we get an item. And silence descends upon Shahraz. That's in the thing. And Adal's thoughts invade your mind. So now he's gonna like shout about how awesome we are. Kael'thas Sunstrider has been defeated by Nathair and his allies. The time to strike at the remaining Bloodlords of Tempest Keep is now. Take arms and let Adal's Song of Battle empower you. Do we get his Song of Battle? Yes, we do. In the Botanica, the Mechanon of the Arcatraz, the reputation gained with the Shatar from killing monsters increased by 10%, damage and healing increased by 5%. I always thought these little buffs were kinda cool. Minor in the long run, but cool. Isn't Kael supposed to shout now as well?
You meant to see like a flame heart over here.
Oh yeah, it's over here. Like,
So
it's like
this
a
is
flaming
this-
thing.
The was it the Sun Strider?
The Sunstrider
emblem?
emblem, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like what was it? It's like a helmed. Was it a horned helm?
Something like
Yeah.
that, yeah. But I thought like Kael'thas was supposed to shout and stuff.
I can't remember.
Maybe he shouts in a different... maybe it's not right afterwards. Because I do remember seeing Kael'thas shout. Like throughout all of Shahraz. Shin is starting in a couple of minutes, guys, so I'm just running over a couple of minutes. Don't you guys worry. Shin will be there.
What's Shin playing?
I don't know. Usually, I think he's doing Minecraft maybe today.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
asked. Yeah, I say Minecraft's being a real pain in the ass, so there you go. Yeah. Kamidamaru is saying like it's the Phoenix mark, and yeah, it pretty much looks like a Phoenix, honestly, if you consider them wings and then the main body. But there's no Kael'thas shouting, So, but normally he basically shouts and says like, "You fool! You didn't kill me. I owned you," or whatever. I don't know. It could maybe he shouts somewhere else. I can't remember. But he does shout in Shattrath. I know that much. Of course, we don't really have time, but like we can go there just to like check it out. So you know how he said like it's coming to Azeroth? It's because in 2.4 the Isle of Kael'thas opened up, and Isle of Kael'thas is actually on Azeroth.
There's no other way to get to there except for this portal, right?
I think if you
Oh,
try to
fly
fly
there.
from Eversong, well, you can't fly. Remember, you can't fly in Eversong and stuff.
No, I mean like
Because,
the flight path.
Yeah, eventually you get a flight path. Yeah, you can get the flight path from Eversong, but like, in fact, didn't you have to do a quest to set up the portal? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I remember like you had to do, and then afterwards, because when you first get there, you had to do like a quest chain to set up the portal so you could portal here from Shattrath. Because obviously, like I think originally they sent you back to Eversong and you flew over here and you did like a bombing run thing and you landed, and then you had a quest chain to set up the portal. Because there was a whole big thing here where you basically slowly took back like a little part of the island, sorted out the security and everything and so on. This island was really cool, but this was...
It was phased, wasn't it?
There was phases, phase 1, 2, and 3, and 4 that happened as you moved on and so on, and like took back more and more of the island. This was a ganking mastermind place, like holy shit.
Oh yeah, I loved
this
it.
Everyone ganked here all the time. Good god.
Yeah, it was good for world PvP, definitely. Must out. There was this thing over here, right? This wasn't fully made. You had to make some donations, right, to get the Shattered Sun title.
Yeah, you donated 1,000 gold and you got the title. Yeah. I have it. I assume you do too.
No, I was too cheap to pay that gold. Let's see if I actually do have it.
Where's of the Shattered Sun?
Of the Shattered Sun, yeah. Oh yeah, I do.
I don't have it. Where's my... Maybe I only have it on the character that got it. Then I'd have it on the rogue then.
It's lies.
No, I do have it. I remember paying for it.
But you don't even have the tabard.
I do have the tabard. Can I show off the tabard? I don't have a tabard to equip to show it, but I can show it on...
I can't believe it.
Where's the tabard? There we go. See?
Yeah.
But I can't actually use it on this character until I've exalted on this character, basically.
Alright, that's a shame.
Yeah. Anyway, so you came here, and then there was a lot of stuff going on. You could fight, like, there's a lot of, so I love this. I actually really enjoyed Kael'thas. I thought it was a really excellent, like, daily zone to go to do quests, and it felt really cool. And it was an Azeroth, which is interesting. And then finally, it led up to the Magus' Terrace here, which we're not going to do because we don't have time, but just want to go into it and check it out.
We actually did a run on, was it time?
Yeah, when we were time walking, I think.
Walking, yeah.
We went in here and did
rip someone.
Rip someone who died. And then Magus' Terrace is mostly where Kael's part of the storyline ends. And then Kil'jaeden's part ends in the Sunwell Plateau raid. But yeah, you go in here and you see all the Shattered Sun like preparing their assault. It didn't look exactly like this back in the day, but they've changed it around so that you get all the quests in the beginning rather than picking them up from outside. And yeah, you've seen us do Shattered Sun before, so we're not going to do it again, obviously, because we don't have time. But yeah, towards the very end, you fight Kael'thas again, and then he's not quite as sane as he was before. But the funny thing about his fight is that it feels like a miniature version of the Tempest Keep fight. He does
it has the same mechanic, similar mechanic.
Yeah.
I think Shin's ready.
If Shin's ready, then we're good to go. Yeah. Okay. I can't go live until the stream ends. So I want to initialize. I'm gonna keep streaming for hours and hours and hours and hours. No, we're good. We're good to go.
You gonna play some Minecraft?
Yeah, let's play some Minecraft. Let's play some modern Minecraft. It's good stuff. Good stuff. The funny thing is, people are getting salted out. Guys, do you have any idea how salty people I should be getting whenever Lewis and Duncan run over? It's kind of funny. But yeah, I'm gonna quit. You guys are gonna get your Shin. He asked me to stay over, so don't you worry. I didn't do this just because I felt like it. It was his favor for him. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed a little Warcraft chat. It was pretty fun. See you guys Monday for Life is Strange, and next Wednesday for Legion. It's gonna be fucking exciting. God damn, it's gonna be great. Enjoy Shin, and have a great evening. See you guys around.
Goodbye.